person just ran back out to her car. She parked on.
Who did?
My person, 25 to 36 or something like that.
Oh, is that what that was? Oh, so that's numbers. Okay, I
Yeah.
was trying to. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
So she should be back in it. So.
All right, well, I'll call these three. Just all right.
Good morning. I'm the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for today's hearing. I want to begin by explaining how the process is going to work. Generally, we hear the building cases on the agenda first, then the city will call the cases in the order in which they appear on the agenda. If you have appeared at today's hearing, your case will be called before the other cases where no one has appeared, but that's only true if you've signed in. Please sign in at the rear of the chamber. If you don't know where, please check with one of the code enforcement officers at the rear of the chamber. Once your case is called, I will ask that you come to the podium on my right-hand side, which is right over here. The city will put on its testimony and evidence first, after which time you will have the opportunity to review any of the evidence and ask questions of any of the city's witnesses. You will also have the opportunity to testify and present me with any of your own evidence. Once all of the testimony and evidence have been presented, I will make a ruling. I will also enter a written order either today at the hearing or in the next few days, which you will receive a copy of. If you have any questions or as we go through the process, please feel free to ask them. This is not a formal courtroom. The formal rules of evidence do not apply here. Although this is not a formal courtroom, all testimony is taken under oath and is subject to penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida. So if you're going to testify, or that you think you're going to testify, or there's a possibility that you testify, I'm going to ask that you stand and raise your right hand, and I will swear you in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you are about to give will be truthful and accurate under the penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida? Please be seated. The city may call the first case.
First case number 84321 North Shore Drive, number 84321 North Shore Drive, CE 22080040.
Good morning. Attilio Belisle, Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. Code case CE 22080040 for 4321 North Shore Drive. The violation I observed was interior fire damage remodel of a convenience store. The notice of violation was mailed via certified mail and regular mail on 1/9/23. Was posted at City Hall 1/9/23. Was posted at the property 1/9/23, and the certified mail was delivered on 1/12/23. On 7/28/22, I issued a stop work order for a convenience store that was being remodeled due to fire damage inside of the store. At the time of issuing the stop work order, there was only building and plumbing being performed. The gentleman here in front of you is the general contractor that is now taking over the project, and permits have not been obtained or applied for. Inspections have not been performed. Included in my file is a notice of violation. Included in my file is a copy of the affidavit of posting. The pictures being shown are true and accurately depict the violation reflected that I'm testifying to. The city recommends 30 days or $100 a day after that.
Thank you, Inspector Belisle. Just a couple of questions in relation to the photos that we're reviewing now. Do those truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations you observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
And can you just tell us a little bit about what you observed that you believe are alleged violations?
The property received some sort of fire damage. I don't know if it was from vandalism through the front door. It's what it looks like. Somehow the fire broke out. And there were some workers in there trying to mediate the fire damage and rebuild the convenience store. However, the work that was commencing does not meet the minimum standards of the building code.
And what is it about the plumbing and I think you said plumbing.
Plumbing and building.
And building. What exactly were you seeing in that regard?
If you see the structure, they've demolished all of the walls and everything in there. They've covered up, they sprayed some sort of spray on the ceiling to cover up all the fire damage. That's for the building aspect of it. They were doing any kind of mediation they could possibly do to get rid of the fire damage. And then on the right side there on that next photo, there's the new plumbing that they've installed. They've incorrectly connected a lot of drains and incorrectly installed a lot of the plumbing system.
Very good, thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence.
Forgive my ignorance, but why is it incorrectly installed?
The minimum requirements of the code require it to be installed a certain way. If you see how the sanitary tees are on their back on the bottom of that photograph, it just does not meet the minimum standards of the code. The way everything is, the wrong pipe sizes, the way the pitch of the pipe, the connections, everything about the way they've connected everything.
So in a typical situation, they would apply for a permit which would set forth how they were going to go about doing this, and the city would approve it before they would do this. Is that?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the entire case file and all documents relied upon, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, stop work order, and any other documents.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as city's composite exhibit 1. Is there anything further from the city?
No.
No.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
My name's Scott Gohegan, certified general contractor for the state of Florida, owner of Blue Water Construction Services.
One more time on your last name, sir.
Gohegan, G as in George, E-O, G as in George, H-E, G as in George, A-N.
Gohegan.
Yes, sir. If you're in Ireland, they'd probably say Gagan.
All right, I'm going to try not to butcher that, but forgive
That's
me
all
if I
right.
do.
Been here 57 years and it's been butchered enough.
I'll do my best. So, Mr. Gohegan, tell me what's going on here.
I know the property owner and just got brought into the job. And when I first approached it, probably over a month or so ago, I noticed the red sticker, stop and ceased, contacted them. They told me. Then when I went back down there, I guess it was Thursday or Friday, they had the notice of violation and the hearing set forth. I contacted the owner. I've been in touch with the convenience store owner as well as the property owner. The property owner says he didn't hire the contractor. The convenience store did. They're well aware of it. The guy took them for probably $40,000 or $50,000, and to be honest with you, everything in there needs to come out because the floor that they put down is not attached, but they never cleaned the fire damage up. They have a 30-foot by 13-foot walk-in cooler that the whole ceiling's melted on it. All that needs to be gutted, all the electrical wire. As he says, they sprayed the whole ceiling with a foam that is probably the correct foam, but we don't know because no one knows where the contractor is. And all the framing and all the plumbing that was put in there is reverse pitched, and it's not, they didn't even have a drawing, they just put it in there. It's not even the way the owners want it to be built. So unfortunately, they got screwed and I inherited the mess.
So if I understand the situation correctly, there's a owner of the property and there's somebody, I guess there's a person that's renting this property
Sure.
for a commercial purpose. This is a retail store?
Yeah, it's a convenience store at the end of a
Convenience
shopping
store.
plaza.
So there was some kind of accident or fire here.
There was a
and then-
major electrical fire throughout the whole place. All the panels are burnt.
Okay, and so the person that was renting it decided to take it upon themselves to try and repair it on the cheap, I guess, is that fair?
No,
to
he
say?
actually thought he was hiring a licensed contractor, and I guess they never went by and looked at it. But he told me he had stopped there 45 times and told them to stop working. I told the convenience store owners the same thing. Of course, they're upset. They
So
trusted the
who
guy.
hired the guy? Was it the convenience store owner?
Convenience store owners.
Yeah.
They have 4 or 5 of them over there on Broadway.
And I presume this contractor, whoever this person was, never went to the city with plans to do any, okay.
I don't believe it was a contractor at all.
No.
The guys that were there, I didn't even see a vehicle. They were probably there on foot.
Fascinating. Okay, so what needs to be done here by the city?
I'm suggesting 30 days to obtain a demolition permit. This gentleman's agreed to do the 30 days and get a demolition permit to remove all of that debris and everything that has been installed incorrectly. And then they can move forward with getting the proper permits and going the proper channels of getting the right permits that are needed.
So at this point, the city would be satisfied with obtaining a demolition permit within
Yes.
30 days?
Yes.
Is that satisfactory to you?
Yes, sir. I've already have the demo drawing and the permit filled out. I'll meet with the owners after this and let them know what it is and get it signed and get it submitted.
That seems reasonable to me.
Excuse me, just for housekeeping, sir, can you, just for the record, you're here representing the property owner, is that
Yes, sir.
accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
And does the property owner know that you're here on behalf of them
Yes, ma'am.
today for this hearing? And have you been given authority to represent the property owner to resolve today's
Yes, ma'am.
case? Okay, and what is the name of the property owner that you're here for?
Abdul Shatera.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Abdul
Uh-huh,
Shatera.
okay.
Let's give you a spelling.
And presumably that's the principal of North Shore Plaza Enterprises?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
This contractor has been in good communication with me as far as trying to fix the problem.
excellent, thank
Yeah,
you.
the last name is Shatara.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. In CE 220800040, I make the following findings of fact and law. If our notice is sufficient, find the property in violation of the listed code sections. I give the respondent 30 days to obtain demolition permit. In the absence of compliance, I issue a fine of up to $100 per day. Thank you for coming in, sir.
Thank you.
Number 7, 1401 Clare Avenue, CE 22070248.
Good morning. Attilio Belisle, Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. This is for code case CE 220700248 for 1401 Clare Avenue. The violation I observed was an outside bar area that was installed without permits or inspections on the loading dock. The notice violation was mailed on 1/9 of 23. It was posted at City Hall on 1/9 of 23. The property was also posted for the notice of violation on 1/9 of 23. The certified mail was delivered on 1/13 of 23. On 7/20 of 22, I issued a stop work order for an outdoor bar area that was installed without permits or inspections for building, electrical, and plumbing. The pictures that are being showed on screen truly and accurately depict the violation and reflect what I've testified to. A permit and inspections are required for the work in the pictures displayed here. Permits have not been applied for, and permits have not been issued. Inspections
Hold
have...
on one sec. We're having a little bit of a technical issue with
Yeah.
the pictures. I think the software's not installed properly. I think it looks like your problem here is that the Adobe Reader software is not installed.
Okay, that's the drain line on the loading dock that is just an open drain line draining on the ground from the bar area.
Okay.
Okay,
Is this a residential or commercial property?
commercial property. This is the drain line extending on the back. You see the loading dock on the ground here, that steel plate? That's the loading dock that was from the previous, upside down. One more time? There we go. So there's the drain line from the bar area that's extending to the side of the loading dock. These are all the equipment and everything for the bar area. There's the back of the bar area.
So is this a restaurant?
Inside of the main building, there is a restaurant. However, this is an outdoor patio seating area, and they built this outside bar area with a bin, a bar, ice bins, and stuff to serve the public.
And so they ran water and electricity out here?
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty good-sized bar area. There's the water line on the ground there.
Did you talk to anybody about this?
I have not touched base with anybody there. I've left multiple notices. I've never seen anybody there at the property. There's the 3-compartment sink that they're connected to.
They just thought they could do this without a permit?
I guess so.
Fascinating.
The problem with it is they're serving the public, and the way they connected this water line, they connected it with a garden hose.
Fascinating.
And you'll see that in further into pictures. If you scroll down a little bit more. All right, there's your drains for all the sinks. Keep going.
With the requisite beer can. Nice.
Oh, yeah. It's very unsanitary because the drain just drains on the ground. Continue.
So this was completed before it was observed?
Say that again.
This was completed before the city observed it was there?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just happened to be driving by and you can't miss it. It's big. Okay, so this photograph is the electrical and I believe the water line running on the exterior of the loading dock. Okay, continue to the next photograph. That's a picture of the stop work order. Here's the garden hose connection, connecting their water line from a garden hose.
Wow. Yeah, I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure that can't be permitted.
And then the next photograph should be the electrical that they connected. There it is. There's the electrical.
Wow, that can't be safe.
And there's the run where the electrical and the water lines run down the loading dock area to the bar area. If you see in the back of the photo there, you can see the bar. It's pretty large. It's not something that can be easily picked up and moved, like a temporary bar.
So they just ran a wire right from the box, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, they put a TV in. Nice.
Oh, it's got, I think, a couple of them.
Actually, it looks kind of nice. No permits, applications on file?
Nothing. I checked as of 8:30 this morning. There was nothing.
No emails or anything to the city as of today?
Nothing. No communication. I've left multiple notices. I've left courtesy notices at the property in several locations, at the property, on the bar, at the office areas. I've yet to have any communication with any of the property owners.
I see.
Somebody's obviously receiving them though, because the certified mail was delivered, and somebody's taken the violations off of the property after I've posted them. So somebody is seeing them.
Nobody's responding, huh?
Nope.
That's unfortunate. I hope it's safe. I'm sorry, I've jumped ahead of the city attorney.
No, that's fine. The city recommends 30 days to obtain a permit to either one, demolish the structure, or 30 days to obtain the permit for the structure.
If they didn't get the demo permit and instead got other permits, what would those be?
The $250 a day.
Mm-hmm. And would it be electrical, water?
Yes,
or-
it'd be electrical, building, and plumbing.
Okay. Just a little bit of housekeeping. I think you said it, but it's been a long time now. An executed affidavit of posting is in your file, correct?
Yes.
And these photos, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations you observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
Excellent, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file including but not limited to the notice of violation, certified mailing documents, affidavit of posting, photographs, stop work order, and any other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as today's composite exhibit 1. Just as a matter of practicality, is there a sufficient amount of time to obtain those permits within 30 days?
For the demolition, yes, but if they're trying to get it permitted, they would have to go through zoning, and I'm not even sure if they'll allow a bar to be out there, to tell you the truth. They're probably going to have to demolish that bar.
Maybe we should frame that order to apply for those permits within 30 days and obtain them within 60. Would that be more reasonable?
Perfect.
Okay. All right, in case CE 22070248, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of the listed code sections, or the respondent to obtain a demolition permit within 30 days or apply for the permits to permit that structure as electrical, building, and plumbing, to apply for them within 30 days and obtain them within 60 days, or a fine of up to $250 per day may issue.
Number 9, 1304 Florida Avenue, CE 22080226.
Attilio Belisle, Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. This is for code case CE 22080226 for 1304 Florida Avenue. The violation I observed was a second-story addition being installed on a residential home and a complete renovation and remodel of 2 homes on this property. The notice of violation was mailed via certified mail and regular mail on 1/9 of 23, was posted at City Hall on 1/9 of 23, was posted at the property on 1/9 of 23. The certified mail was delivered on 1/12 of 23. On 8/5 of 22, I issued a stop work order for a complete remodel of the 2 homes on the property and to include building a second-story addition on top of the home. The fence, windows, electrical, plumbing, and gas were installed at the time of my observation at the property. The pictures that are being shown are accurately depict the violation and reflect what I've testified to.
Thank you, Inspector Belisle. And again, I apologize, you may have said it. Is your executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes.
And can you just tell us a little bit, just briefly, what we're seeing? You don't have to go through every picture, but just describe and walk us through what you saw.
In this photograph, there's all windows have been installed. They've removed the old windows on both of these homes that are on this property. You can go to the next photograph. That's a picture of my stop work order. You can go to the next photograph. This was the electrical at the time that was in question for the underground service. They have obtained a permit for that. That is permit number 22070569 and has received several inspections for the electrical underground service being installed. You can go to the next photograph. There's the fence along the back side of the property and extends to the front side of the property.
We're talking about the wooden fence?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and you scroll to the next one. There's the fence. There's the second-story addition they added to the top of a home. There's the electrical underground, which has since been permitted. There's windows, doors. Here's the interior of the home. There was a gentleman there working. It was a dusty job site. I told him that he needed to stop work and call his boss, and he immediately called his boss, but there was no communication since then. They replaced all the floor beams, the joists, everything.
So the only work that was permitted that you're aware of is the electrical work?
Yes,
And so the non-permitted work that you observed was the windows, doors, I guess the addition, the framework and the addition here?
the gas, the plumbing, and the,
That's strikingly odd, don't you think? Why would they permit the electrical work and not the rest of the work?
they may have hired a contractor that did his due diligence by acquiring the proper permit to do that, because you have to contact FP&L. Florida Power and Light has to be involved in order to do an overhead to underground service change, and they're going to want to see that documentation in order to take the power wire from the meter can overhead to drop it underground. So they did their job by getting the appropriate permit there. That's the air conditioning and gas work you can see on the side of the property, and the plumbing. There's the sanitary sewer.
Yeah, but the moment that
There's the
happens, the
gas.
city comes out to inspect the electrical, the city's gonna notice everything else. That's just,
Well, I just happened to be honestly driving by, and that's the first couple photographs. That's what I seen. I hollered at the worker that was building the second story addition, and I asked him to grant me access to the property and talk with him and speak with him. I told him to call his boss immediately, and we spoke out at the sidewalk regarding this remodel that was going on, and that's the only conversation that we've had.
that is something. I'm just amazed sometimes that they think they can do this and that no one's gonna notice. I'm sorry, I interrupted the city attorney again.
There's the addition, the second story addition.
I apologize. Did you have additional questions?
Okay. Inspector Belial, what time frame are you looking for?
The city is looking for 30 days to obtain application for the permits required, and 60 days for some inspections to commence. After that, $250 a day.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, stop work order, the underground electrical permit, referenced photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents to evidence as City's Composite Exhibit 1. So the city is seeking 30 days to apply for the permits, 60 days to obtain those permits? Or
Yes.
60 days to get the inspections done? 60 days to obtain them? Okay. And that can be done in this particular case?
Yeah, the windows were a direct replacement, like for like in the same hole. The addition would probably be a hurdle because they're installing an addition on top of a home. So I don't know what's going to be entailed on that. But the property owners must be aware because they did receive the notice of violation. So and I believe the property owners are general contractors. So I don't know. They have the ability to apply for it.
You'd think they'd know better, right? All right. Case CE 220802226. I make the following findings of fact on law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of the listed code sections. I order the respondent to come into compliance as follows: to apply for permits within 30 days and to obtain those permits within 60 days. Hereby authorize a fine in the amount of $250 per day for noncompliance.
Next case, number 294177 North Haverhill Road, 805 CE 221003339. And we have the same respondent and property owner here for numbers 29 through 35.
I'm sorry, which numbers?
It looks like 29 through 35.
Yes.
Okay.
Can we do them all at once?
Are they all the same underlying issues, violations, communication?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The respondent needs to be sworn in though.
Ma'am, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Officer Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code 4177 North Haverhill Road, Unit 805, 4177 North Haverhill Road, Unit 812, 4177 North Haverhill Road, Unit 813, 4197 North Haverhill Road, Unit 212, 4167 North Haverhill Road, Unit 1111, 4163 North Haverhill Road, Unit 1208, and 4151 North Haverhill Road, Unit 1505, were all cited for failure to obtain a rental license. Notice was accomplished by certified mail, which was signed for on 11/1/2022, and all these units were posted on 11/4/2022. Excuse me. I've been in constant contact with the property manager, and they are having issues because of chain supply, and I'll have her testify to that. But the city is requesting, after she testified, the city is going to make its request for time and fines.
Just a couple of questions, Officer Levine, for each one of these cases. I just want to clarify, the posting is posting at the property and at City Hall, is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am?
And there's an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
And the notices were all sent by regular first-class mail as well?
Yes, ma'am.
And the photos in each case, those are accurate photos of the posting at each particular property, is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. A special magistrate, the city would submit as evidence in each file that we're talking about right now, a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, and any and all other documents relied upon.
All right, I'll accept those documents and evidence. City's Composite Exhibit 1, and in each case. Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Deandra Salerno.
All right. So tell me what's going on here with your rental licenses.
I am the property manager for absentee owners who obtained 17 units back, I think, in May or March of 2022. Or May. I started for them in May. And I did not know that they did not, because I'm not a realtor, so I wasn't at closing. I did not know that they did not obtain property rental licenses. So I also didn't know that they had a certified copy mailed to the New York office. I found out the day that he posted them on all the doors. My tenants called me up and said, oh my gosh, what's going on? And I said, it's addressed to North Haverhill, don't worry about it. It's something that I'm gonna have to look into and take care of. So I've been in contact with him and, the process of what I need to get done for the inspections. Most of the units are ready to be inspected. I've done the weather strips, I've done the screen doors. The only thing that I keep hitting a dead end with is the screens. And I have 2 units that don't have screens, and then I have about 3 units that are missing a bedroom or a bathroom. So I guess, speaking to several screen companies, I keep running into a dead end. First they start the doors, and then they're like, oh, we forgot to tell you we don't do window screens. And then I run into other people who say they're on back order for 6 weeks due to, COVID in the past, and they're just so overbooked. And then I have run into people who just, tell me they're gonna go out and.
Hold on one second. Would the unit fail the inspection if there's not screens on the windows?
That's a requirement, sir.
Yeah, that's what's been my only problem.
Is that what's holding this up, that if there's not screens on the windows, they fail the inspection?
Well, that might be the case, but what we do is send out a checklist so the property manager or the property owner would see what we are looking for prior to us coming out and doing the inspection, rather than going out and doing the inspection and having to go through it all. So we send out that information so they could get the properties prepared for us, so when we get there, we don't have to be going around in circles.
That seems strikingly reasonable. How much time do you need to get your unit ready for the inspection?
I have a meeting with a new screen company who seems very reliable and legit. I have a meeting with him tomorrow actually at 10 at the units. And hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping 30 days, within 30 days, depending on when he gets back to me and tells me when he could get the screens in, or if he has to make the screens, or if he has, if they're standard size and he could just get them. I don't really know how that works, but
What do you think?
Whatever she requests. I mean, I'm willing to go 60 days.
Tell you what, I will give you the 60 days, but if you can get it done sooner, try and get it done sooner, get the inspection done, get off my agenda, that would be good, okay?
okay, and I'll email him when I'm ready.
Yeah, as soon as you can get those screens in, schedule your inspection. I'm sure the officer would appreciate getting off of his particular list of cases too, I'm sure.
Okay, and do you want to break it up? Like, instead of doing 17 in one day, do you want to break it up to like
We could
half
split it in
one
half,
day
yes.
and half one day? Because we could probably get started now on the units that are ready.
Okay,
If you want to do that, I'll go home and I'll email you a list.
all right.
Okay,
And Officer Levine, what fine are you looking for?
With the 60 days, probably would go at $250.
Thank you.
That's a hefty fine, so I'd get on it.
$250 for each unit, right?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
Per-
per day,
per
so
day.
Per day.
you're gonna wanna get those screens done.
I know.
All right. All right, I'm gonna read these separately for the record. All right, in case it's 29 and 35, right? All right, in case CE 221003339, I'm gonna make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 2232A and 22441. I'm gonna give the respondent 60 days to come into compliance by obtaining the certificate of use and rental license, or a fine of up to $250 per day may issue. In case 35, which is CE 221000350, I'll make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 2232A and 22441. Give the respondent 60 days to come into compliance, or a fine of up to $250 per day may issue. That is it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yep.
Number 223804 Miller Avenue, CE 22060248.
Good morning. Sonia Binns, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on June 21st, 2022. Notice of violation was posted at the property and at City Hall on November 1st, 2022. Certified mail was sent on November 1st, 2022. Sorry. The property was cited for codes 181023, 181003B, 18103C, 18103E, 18103G, 18103I, and 7434A1H. As you can see in the photos, the property was cited for trash can placement, exterior rotten wood throughout the property, interior wall structure in disrepair, also plumbing issues, broken windows and door need to be repaired, as well as appliances in the units, such as kitchen cabinets, toilets that are not operating, as well as microwave, etc. I have been in contact with the property manager by the name of Fabiola. She's not here today. However, Ricardo is another property manager for this property. To date, all of the codes that cite is still in compliance. The property managers are in compliance with the city recommendation. Today, the city is requesting an additional 90 days to gain compliance, or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
I think you stated the opposite of what you meant. They're not in compliance.
They're not in compliance,
Okay.
no. I'm sorry.
Just a couple of questions. Thank you, Officer Binns. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes,
And was the notice of violation sent by regular first-class mail?
correct.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you observed at the property?
Yes,
And with respect to everything that you've cited, you believe is still outstanding, is that
Correct.
accurate? Okay. So missing window screens, you talked a little bit about the rotten wood.
broken windows.
Okay, broken
s-
windows. Just for the record, is there also water damage to the ceiling throughout
Ceiling
multiple
damage.
units?
Interior wall damage.
Okay, and
As well as plumbing.
what is it
Um,
about the plumbing?
I'm sorry. So plumbing, there's leaking in, toilet is leaking as well as underneath the cabinet is leaking water as well. When it rains, there's water actually entering in one of the units as well. So they have ceiling damage, wall damage caused by water leakage. As well as there's equipments in some of the units that are not properly being functioned, like that is one of the units there.
How many units are there?
4,
Are you seeing something in every single unit?
yes,
Okay. And was the trash can still in public view?
yes,
Um,
Are there people living in these units?
yes. They're fully occupied.
Has there been any progress since you've noticed the property in terms of working towards being in compliance?
Well, in one of the units, in the bathroom, there's a photo there. The wall, it seems like they did a little repair there. Due to the code violations, the property owner need to obtain permits for plumbing, ceiling work. I know that early 2022, they did apply for a new roof permit, but as of today, there is no additional permits to address any of the concern that I cited the property for.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and all documents relied upon. And I don't know if the gentleman needs to be sworn in or not.
He did. He was sworn in.
Okay, very good.
I'll accept those documents and evidence of city's composite exhibit 1. Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Ricardo.
I'm sorry, one more time, a little louder.
Ricardo.
Ricardo,
Yes, sir.
and your last name, sir?
Lopez.
And what is your position with the respondent, Mr. Lopez?
I'm the field manager.
You're the manager of the property, sir?
Yeah, I'm the field manager.
Tell me what's going on with this property, Mr. Lopez.
Can you repeat that for me, please?
Can you tell me what's going on with this property, sir?
The owner?
Tell me what's going on to repair this
Okay.
property.
We're trying to get the permits done as soon as we were trying to get the permits approved. That was what I was told this morning by Fabiola, that is the one who communicated with the code officer, and we're expecting to have everything done before 90 days.
You're expecting to have everything done before,
The 90 days that they are requesting.
Ms. Benz, you said you had an agreement here. Can you tell me what it is that you've agreed to?
90 days.
To
So
comply with all of these?
Correct. So the property was cited back in June of last year. And, you know, as of today, based on all of the code violation that I cited the property for, there's no permit on file. However, after speaking with Ricardo this morning, you know, we spoke about the condition of the property, and he said that 90 days is doable to, you know, obtain permits and gain compliance of the property. Now, Fabiola is the one that, ever since I cited the property, that I'm in communication with. And I spoke to her about that as well, and she agreed to the 90 days.
I hope so. The conditions on this property are
Yeah,
poor, to put it kindly.
yes, I agree.
So what remedy is the city seeking?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, you said 90 days, or what fine were you seeking?
$250 per day.
All right, in case CE 22060248, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of all of the listed code sections. In particular, I find that the property is missing window screens, that there is deterioration or rotten wood around the roof and around the ceiling of the units, that there is rotten wood and water damage on the ceiling. I find that there is interior wall and structure disrepair in the units. I find that there is external damage to the doors and windows that are disrepair. I find that there is water leaking into multiple units under the kitchen sinks and toilets. I find that there is kitchen cabinets and toilet damages that are not functioning. I find that the trash cans are misplaced. Order the respondents to bring all of these issues into compliance within 90 days, or a fine of up to $250 per day may issue. Thank you for coming in, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all we have for contested matters at this time. Is there anyone else here for a case? The next case, number 1, is rescheduled, 953 39th Street, CE 22120046. Number 2, 703 42nd Street, CE 22110242.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Santa Mills Code Compliance Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on November 30, 2022. Service was accomplished by certified mail sent on December 1st, 2022. Certified mail was signed for on December 3rd, 2022. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on December 5th, 2022. I have been in contact with the owner of the property. The property is being cited for landscape maintenance, as well as no certificate of use, no rental license, garbage can in public view, as well as outdoor storage. As of today, they have complied. The garbage can in public view, it's now out of the way. I spoke to the tenants. As of this morning, apart from the garbage can being taken care of, everything else is non-compliant. The city's asking for an additional 30 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer Mills, a couple of questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
There is.
Does the affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
It is.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you observed at the property?
They do.
For the violations that remain, with respect to landscaping and outdoor storage,
That's
could you
correct.
please tell us what it is you observed that you believe is in violation?
Okay, so for the landscaping, they still have,
Could you speak into the microphone? Thank you.
for the landscaping, the grass is still high, as well as there's trash on the lawn still. The outdoor storage, they still have their toys, the bike, out in the open when it's not being used. I spoke to the tenants about that as well. And I believe, and they have applied for the certificate for use as well as the rental license, but they haven't scheduled an inspection to complete the process.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, the rental application, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those in evidence. City's Composite Exhibit 1. So I saw the landscaping, and looks like they need some sod. Saw the outside storage. Looks like they got some
Well,
just
the
stuff.
side on the picture before, that's actually just a little portion is theirs. I'm just showing the picture that they complied with the trash bin being out of sight, because that's where they kept it, on the side of the house.
You have to talk into the mic. I just don't hear as well as I used to.
The side picture that you're looking at, it's mostly the other person's property, which is beside them. They only have a strip right there. The picture was actually showing that they removed the trash can from public view. Most of the landscaping is over to the right, which is
It's like
on
where
the
that
tree.
big overgrown tree that doesn't look like it's been cut.
Yes.
And the outdoor storage, is it that junk that's just sitting in the front of the house?
They had a few stuff, bikes, rags, mops hanging on the front. And when I was there, I spoke to the tenants and told them that it's not acceptable. So they had an idea as to what can be stored in the front. And they had most of their toys out there too. And I spoke to them about that. But when I went by to take the pictures for compliance, they removed some of the stuff and they still had the bikes, the bike in front.
Just got to put their stuff away, right?
Pardon me? They
Just
need
got
to
to put their stuff away, huh?
yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, in case CE 22110242, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I found the property in violation of 18106K, specifically that the landscaping is not being maintained. I find they're in violation of 2232A and 22441. Specifically, they do not have a certificate of use and rental license. I find them in violation of 9471C, that there is outdoor storage that is visible. I give the respondent 30 days to come into compliance or fine of $100 per day.
Thank you.
Number 3 is complied, 351 Churchill Road, CE 22120194. Number 4 is complied, 716 Summit Boulevard, CE 22120212. Number 5, 922 Sunset Road, CE 22110149.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 922 Sunset Road was originally cited on November 15, 2022. Regular and certified mail was sent out November 16, 2022. That was received November 23rd, 2022. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on December 19, 2022, and an affidavit of posting was prepared and placed into the case file. To date, I've had no contact with the owner. They were originally cited for 34102A for junk or abandoned vehicles parked in the driveway of the property, 9471-C for outdoor storage, various items that were stored in the front yard and on the side of the home of the property, and 7434A1J for the garbage can being in view of the public. As of this morning, 9471C, the outdoor storage, as well as 7434A1J, the garbage can placement has been complied. However, 34102A for the junk or abandoned vehicle is still present at the property. The city requests 30 days to bring the property into compliance or a $50 a day fine thereafter.
Thank you, Officer Williams. Just a couple of questions. The photographs we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
With respect to the junk or abandoned vehicle, is it one vehicle or more than one?
It's just one vehicle parked in the driveway of the property.
And what is it about the vehicle that you believe makes it junk or abandoned?
The tires are flat. That one's a little blurry there, but you can see the tires in the back of the vehicle are flat. And I don't think it has a tag on it either. I think they were putting it back together when I was out there, so it looked like they were doing. I don't know that they were doing active work on it, but it looks like it may have been some type of vehicle that they were working on to get it back into working condition.
And as of your most recent inspection, this vehicle is still there in this similar state?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence. City's Composite Exhibit 1. Have you had any contact with these people?
No, sir. Seems to be someone home every time I go, but when I knock on the door, no one answers.
They don't seem to want to talk to you, huh?
Yeah.
I guess presumably if they filled up the tires and put a tag on it, that would bring it into compliance, I guess, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess they got 30 days to figure out what they want to do, huh? All right, in CE 22110149, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I found the property in violation of 34102A in that they have an inoperable vehicle currently on their property. They have 30 days to bring the property in compliance or a fine of up to $50 per day may issue.
Number 6, 712 Penn Street, CE 22120147.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property here at 712 Penn Street was originally cited December 14, 2022. The regular and certified mail was sent out December 15, 2022. That was returned December 24, 2022. The property as well as City Hall was posted on January 6, 2023. And an affidavit of posting was prepared and placed into the case file. To date, I've had no contact with the owner. I've spoken with the tenant. They were originally cited for 18106A for clean and sanitary conditions, different items outside, trash and debris. 18106I for litter, trash, and debris, various items that were outside or on the ground there, and 7434A1J for garbage can being in view of the public. As of this morning, all violations are still present on the property. The city is requesting 30 days to bring the property into compliance or a $100 a day fine thereafter.
How much?
Say again?
How much a fine?
$100 a day.
Thank you, Officer Williams. Just a couple of questions. We're about to review some photographs, and the photographs that we are reviewing now then, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And I did miss it. You said that everything is still outstanding. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll admit those documents to evidence. The city's composite exhibit 1. All right, so we got the pictures?
Pictures.
So those are the garbage cans. Those are visible from the street?
Yes, they just have them stored right out front. And the tenant did say that they had asked, I guess, for the owner to redo the dumpster enclosure that's there, but I guess they refused to redo it. And
So they just stick the garbage cans right in front of the enclosure, it looks like, right?
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not great. All right, let me see some trash and debris. What we got? That's garbage cans.
Go back to the initial inspection. Say again.
Is that the trash and debris? Is that just where they,
So it's, you see it right there. All different types of trash and debris. I mean, the tenants tried to clean it up as best they could, but I believe there are 3 units there in that building, so it's,
so they just like leave stuff out by the,
yeah,
okay.
whoever it is, they're just dumping stuff there by the road.
Okay. So they just got to clean up that area right by the trash area.
Yeah.
You said you spoke to them?
The tenant, not the owner.
No contact with the owner?
No contact.
Did the tenant say he was going to try and clean it, or he or she said they were going to try and clean up?
They were against cleaning up for the other tenants, so they were trying to keep their own, in front of their own unit clean, which unfortunately.
Yeah, clean up for themselves. Well, I guess I
Yeah.
can't blame them for
They
that.
are the unit right in front of the dumpster enclosure, so. they
Is
pulled
that,
the short end.
is that dumpster area, is that the same owner's dumpster area for all?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, CE 22120147, I make the following findings of fact on life. I notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18106A, and that there is trash and debris scattered on the property, 18106I, that there is litter and trash and debris on the property that needs to be cleaned up, and 7434A1J, that the garbage cans are placed in public view and they need to be screened from the public. I give the respondent 30 days to come into compliance, or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
Thanks, sir.
Number 10 is complied, 224 Detour Street. Number 318, CE 23010028. Number 11, 512 Clematis Street, CE 230100029.
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 512 Clematis Street, which is a vacant lot, was initially cited on 1/4/23. Certified mail was sent on 1/5/23. The certified mail receipt was returned. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on 1/5/23. Property was cited for 94105C. Prohibited uses, which essentially was outdoor storage. 94302-A-4, fence in disrepair. 94-402-B-1-4, prohibited signs. As of this morning, Code Section 94-105-C had complied. The outdoor storage had been removed. The other two sections still remain. I did have a phone conversation with the respondent, and that indicated that I guess they were part owners with regard to this property. And they stated that they were speaking to planning and zoning with regard to the signage. However, that process is still ongoing. And so in light of that, the city's requesting a bifurcated order, 30 days in order to get the approval for the signage. If they're not granted the approvals, then remove that signage, $50 per day, and $45 days in order to repair or remove the fencing, which they indicated that they were going to repair the fence. So the city would be amicable in granting 45 additional days in order to facilitate the repairs, or a fine of $50 per day be imposed.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions, Officer Williams. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, there is.
And was the notice of violation sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations you've observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
Just for the record, this is a vacant lot. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is. It is a vacant lot.
The fence that we've been discussing, that's the green metal link fence?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And can you just describe what it is about what are you seeing with the sign? You said signs, plural, so what are we seeing?
Yeah, I believe there's 3 pieces of signage in the form of more or less like banners that have been attached to the fence. And so they were saying that I guess they had spoken to someone, and and that someone's nameless. And that person indicated that those I can't even talk. Those particular pieces of signage were permissible, and I told them that they would need to go to planning and zoning in order to get approvals for signage.
So you're seeing 3 signs that are more like an advertising for the thing?
Yes.
It's not you're not talking about the no trespassing sign we saw, are you?
No,
Okay.
not the no trespassing signs. Those retail space for lease signage.
Okay. Thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the entire file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as City's Composite Exhibit 1. So the outdoor storage is in compliance?
The outdoor storage is in compliance. I did take a walk over to the lot this morning, and I noted that all of the outdoor storage had been removed.
So the 2 issues are the fence and wall maintenance and
the fence.
yeah, the fence maintenance, and
Right.
so that one's pretty easy. So we can see from the photographs that you took that
Right.
that green fence appears to be separating from its
Right.
Comment.
And there's actually a section of the fence along the northern perimeter that's leaning, disconnected.
yeah. So that one's that's easy. That needs to be repaired. So that one's a little bit easier. So let's talk a little bit about the signage issue. So it's the city's position that under 94-402B, that these advertising signs that they're attaching to the fence are not compliant with the code, and I guess their contention was that they believed it was.
They believed it was, according to the respondent, they had spoken to someone who indicated that that the signage was legal. I stated to them that all signage had to be approved through the city, and so I recommended that they start with planning and zoning.
So what would happen? I mean, I guess conceivably signing can be permitted, right?
Conceivably, yes, but planning and zoning would indicate to them whether that particular signage would be permissible, or they would give them some direction in terms of what type of signage they could utilize, if any at all.
What is the... I don't have the code section in front of me. Does anyone, what does 94402B14 specifically prohibit here?
Sorry, my computer kicked me out.
Yeah, my computer's working very slowly today.
Hang on. Apologize. 94. So 402B1-4.
Oh, somebody has to be doing faster than me.
Prohibited signs and related equipment. The following signs and related equipment shall not be permitted, erected, or maintained in any district. And sub 4 is any sign which was or is unlawfully installed, erected, or maintained under the terms of this ordinance or under the applicable terms of any preceding ordinance. You can Google Muni Code West Palm Beach.
Yeah, I know how to get there. I'm just having a hard time getting there.
Oh, sorry.
My browser's got the little spinny thing going. All right, well, maybe I can...
You have to scroll down to chapter 94 and then click into 94.
So it's the city's position that, at the very least, they would need to have a permit to use it to put this sign up, right?
Right. Actually, any signage that's as such that's posted in the city, you would need to get approvals through planning and zoning.
So whether or not it's permittable, there is no permit.
There is no permit.
Okay, so that's easily enough. That's easy enough. All right. So I will frame the order this way. They either have to get approval through a permit for the sign within 30 days or remove it.
Okay.
Does that work for the city?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right, in case CE 230100029, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 94302A4. The fence is in disrepair. I give the respondent 45 days to bring the property in compliance by repairing the fence. And 94402B14, I find that the sign is not approved or permitted, and I give the respondent 30 days to either get approval for the sign and a permit, or to remove the sign,
Thank you.
or a fine of up to $50 per day may issue.
Number 12 is complied, 1301 Alpha Street, number 3102, CE 23010030. Number 13, 9585 Lantern Bay Circle, CE 22110241.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On November 30th, I received a complaint of 9585 Lantern Bay Circle in excuse me, in violation of rental license and certificate of use. Property was posted as well as City Hall January 4th. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent December 1st. Certified mail was returned December 12th. The property is still being currently advertised for rent. I've had no contact with the property owner. With that being said, city's recommending 30 days to bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer McFarland. Just a couple of questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
The photograph that we reviewed, is that an accurate photograph of posting at this particular property?
Yes, ma'am.
And the advertisement for rent, is that something that you found contemporaneous with your search, with this case?
Actually, it was provided by the complainant.
And were you able to, once you received that from the complainant, were you able to follow that up to confirm that this is the actual
Yes, it
advertisement
is
for this
the
particular
actual, yes,
property?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I think we saw a flash of some other documents on the up there in the
My
photos.
normal documentation, application, so
Very
on
good.
and so forth. That's the advertisement.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photo, the advertisement for rent, and any and all other documentation, communication, and documents relied on.
Without objection, I'll accept those in evidence. The city's composite exhibit 1. So this thing is online being advertised, what, as a Airbnb or something?
No, actually, I've been dealing with a realtor, and she brought it to my attention that a home in the neighborhood that she works in is being advertised for rent. So she's been keeping tabs on the advertisement for me, and that should be the current advertisement. That's the current one. I haven't received any contact from anyone in regards to the property. So,
Can you go back to that, please?
excuse me?
I'm sorry, I was just asking her to go back to, so this is being advertised, where is this being advertised?
MLS?
All right, so this is being advertised in the MLS for rent currently?
Yes, sir.
How recent is this?
I can't see the date on there, but it's the most recent.
So listing date was 11/18/22.
Yes.
Have you been out to the property?
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone living there, do you know?
Not to my knowledge.
Have you spoken to anyone?
I did speak to a neighbor, and he did say that someone is currently there. But when I was there, I didn't observe any vehicles in the drive or anything like that.
And no one's responded to your notices?
No, sir.
And there's no record of any certificate of use or rental license?
No, sir. Upon searching this morning, I didn't find anything.
Yeah. If you're gonna put it up for rent, you gotta apply for one.
I agree.
Them are the rules.
I agree.
I don't make the rules, I just enforce them.
I preach that every day.
So what remedy were you seeking here?
30 days to be in compliance or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
City Attorney, have anything further?
I'm sorry, sir?
Did you have anything further?
Nothing further. I already submitted the evidence.
All right, in case CE 22110241, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 2232A and 22441. This is a property being listed for rent without a certificate of use or a rental license on record with the City of West Palm Beach. I order the respondent to come into compliance within 30 days or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue.
Number 14, 8285 Fresh Creek, CE 221020134.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On December 13th, I received a complaint of the neighbor of 8285 Fresh Creek. Upon visiting the property, it was cited for exterior doors and windows, repair of garage door to make weather tight, clean and sanitary, trash throughout the rear of the property, secure vacant property, secure opening to garage, and failure to comply. The property was posted as well as City Hall January 4th. Certified mail was sent December 14th. Certified mail was returned January 9th. As of January 4th, the property is no longer vacant. So city is looking to strike secure vacant property and failure to comply. The property still remains in violation of external doors and windows and repair garage door to make weather tight. The property has since come into compliance with the clean and sanitary. City is recommending 30 days to repair the garage door or $150 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer McFarland, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And with respect to the garage door, we've been reviewing some photographs. Do the photographs truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violation that you observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you just briefly, for the record, tell us what you're seeing with regard to that garage issue?
As you can see, the garage door is mangled. It needs to be secured to the point where outside weather can't protrude into the property. It basically needs to be repaired.
And have you had any contact?
The neighbor to the east of that property is afraid that rodents and wildlife will get into that residence because it's not secured, and I do agree with that as well.
And have you had any contact at all with the owner or any representative?
No, I have received no contact of any form.
Okay, thank you.
But as you can see, someone was there. But I felt for my safety, that's why I did not approach that young lady sitting there, because the complainant did verbalize to me that she has mental issues. So I felt it best not to approach her. So I did post a notice on the door.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, so admitted. What's the city seeking here?
30 days to repair or $150 a day until compliance is achieved.
Well, I can see that garage door.
Yeah, I've never seen one that bad.
Think that can be fixed in 30 days?
I don't see why not. All they need to do is call a contractor.
Can we see the pictures again? I think that needs a new garage door.
Completely mangled.
How does one do that to a garage
How
door?
you even get it to that point?
I think you need a new garage door.
Yeah.
What else did we have? We had the trash out back. Was that it?
Mm-hmm.
Is that still there?
No, they have since cleaned that up.
So what do we do? Is it just this garage door?
It's just a garage door.
And you said you did not talk with that woman?
I felt best not to, just because of the information that I received from the neighbor as far as her mental health.
I feel like this is a very bad forum to deal with whatever's going on in this house.
So a lot going on there. Speaking to the neighbor. But I do think she has a caregiver. But I was hoping that the caregiver would come by and at least see the notice on the door, but no luck.
I'm going to give her 45 days because
That's reasonable.
who knows what it takes to fix a garage in this particular environment. And I think you're going to need a new garage here.
Oh, yeah.
And judging by the state of that garage, I think this person needs some time. In case of CE 22120134, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18103E. I'm giving the respondent 45 days to come into compliance to repair her garage, or a fine of up to $50 per day.
Number 15, 715 Village Boulevard, 208 CE 22120159.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On December 12th, the property at 1715 Village Boulevard, Unit 208, was cited for outdoor storage. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted January 6th. Certified mail was sent December 15th. Certified mail was returned December 24th. I have not been in contact with anyone in regards to this property. City's recommending 15 days or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
I'm guessing the neighbors aren't happy, huh?
The neighbors, the HOA.
Thank you. Officer McFarland, a couple of questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And does the affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violation that you've observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Other than the doors being stored on the porch, is there anything else being stored in the porch that's not appropriate, or it's just the
The
doors?
biggest thing is the doors that should be inside the home is basically, I don't know what they're trying to do with it. There's some items that are also hanging over the rails there. It's just not in a good state.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the claims, a copy of the file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence. Is that just laundry, or is there other stuff out there?
I mean, there's a number of things out there. It's an array of things out there. I guess they're using the porch as storage.
Yeah, I'm guessing the neighbors aren't really happy about that, huh? If I
Yeah,
heard you correctly, you
the
said that-
HOA is not happy about it because they've sent a number of notification to the owner and no action's being taken.
Is that a rental apartment?
It's indeed a rental property. It also has a lien on the property for not renewing their rental license, so.
So we got all kinds of problems going on there, huh?
Yeah.
Did this come to you as a complaint from one of the neighbors or the HOA?
The complaint came from the homeowners association.
That usually means that they've already tried, huh?
Yeah, they tried. That's why they reached out to me for help.
So they reached out to you guys thinking that there was something the big bad city of West Palm Beach could do about it, huh?
Always, we always huffing and puffing.
What did they think you guys were gonna do?
The same thing they're gonna do.
Knock on the door.
Leave the property.
Maybe they thought you looked tougher, I don't know. I presume that nobody responded to you either?
No.
Do you think they'll respond to me, huh?
I don't think they're gonna respond to anyone.
Probably.
See the track record.
We'll give it a shot. What remedy is the city seeking here?
15 days to remove the items from the porch or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Is this property owned by a rental complex, or is this an individual owner?
I think it's owned by an LLC.
So this is this isn't like a rental, what am I trying to say here? This is an individually owned unit, but it's just collectively owned by like a real estate company.
Correct.
Yeah. So this won't do much good at all, because if the company could get rid of them, they probably already would.
I tried sending it out to the addresses provided with the rental license at the time, as well as what was provided in Sunbiz, so.
This Rosatomi LLC, they own multiple properties in the city? Do you know?
No, I didn't dig into that, because a lot of times they usually own one here, one there, or a different city.
But you didn't get any response from a property manager that's dealing?
No.
The irony of this kind of thing is that the notices go to these companies, and the person that's renting the property often doesn't really.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But we'll do what we're supposed to do anyway. In case CE 22120159, I make the following. I find the following facts in law. I find notice is sufficient. You did post the door, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I find notice is good and sufficient. I find the property in violation 9471C. I give the respondent 15 days to come into compliance by removing the outdoor storage on their porch. In the absence of compliance, I hereby assess a fine of $100 per day until the property owner come into compliance.
Thank you.
Number 16, 7001 Norton Avenue, number 12, CE 22120154.
Morning, Officer Oliva.
Good morning, sir. Joseph Oliva, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on 12/14/2022. Service was accomplished by certified mail and regular mail sent on 12/15/2022. Certified mail was signed for on 12/21/2022. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on 12/14/2022. There is an affidavit of posting in the case. I have been in contact with the property owner. This property was cited for 94-315-B-1 commercial outside storage And I did speak with the son. He did call me. So as of this morning, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city's asking for an additional 60 days for them to come into compliance. If they did not come into compliance, then the city's asking for $100 a day until compliance is achieved. So I did, when the son did call me, the son of the owner called me, and basically what they want to do is put up a fence so it's at a public view, and that's why I'm giving them the 60 days. They did clean up a little bit, but they still have outdoor storage there as of yesterday.
Thank you. Officer Oliva, just a couple of questions. The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
And can you just describe for the record this outdoor storage and what are you seeing at this commercial property?
They have like an RV on the side of the building, and there's a boat there, and then they have some other items like a ladder, and there's a couple of other things out there. Yeah, and it's not supposed to be seen from public view, and it's considered outdoor storage, outside, commercial outdoor storage.
Okay, thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those items into evidence as City's Composite Exhibit 1. So, Officer Oliva, you spoke with the son of the business owner,
Yes,
and they have a plan to bring this into compliance?
yes, he said basically they were gonna put up a fence where you can't see that, the stuff back there, or it just has to be removed. But I looked in the permits and I didn't see anything that they even applied for a permit yet. That's why I'm gonna give them the 60 days or $100
Do you
a
believe
day.
his plan has a reasonable possibility of bringing this into compliance?
I think so. I think they will,
give it a
because
shot.
when I spoke to the people that work there, you know, they said they were gonna move it, but it still hasn't been done yet. And then the son called me and said that they were gonna put a fence up or something like that. He goes, all we have to do is put a fence up where you can't see it anymore. And I'm like, basically, this way it's out of view of the public. And he says, all right, and that was the last I heard of him.
Think it's worth giving them the 60 days to see if they can do it?
Yes.
All right. We'll give them a shot. All right, case CE 2212015-4. I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 94315B1. Give the respondent 60 days to bring the property into compliance, or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
Number 17, 361 Franklin Road, CE 2212015.
Joseph Oliva, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on 12/14/2022. Service was accomplished by certified mail and regular mail sent on 12/15/2022. Certified mail was signed for on 12/22/2022. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on 12/14/2022. There is an affidavit of posting in the case. I have had contact with the owner of the property. This property was cited for 94-302-A-3 unpermitted fence. As of this morning, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for an additional 60 days for them to come into compliance. If they do not come into compliance, then the city is asking for $50 a day until compliance is achieved. Now, I did speak with the new owner. She just purchased the property, and they applied for the permit on 1/9/2023 for the fence. So I'm just going to give them some time to get it approved and printed.
It's a nice looking fence.
Thank
May not
you.
have applied for a permit, but it looks nice.
Yes, it does.
Thank you. Officer Oliva, just a couple of questions.
Sure.
You said the new owner, so is this Barry Sher Trust, the new
No,
owner?
the new owner is Lisa Gerard. It was purchased, well, the sale of the house was January 2023. I mean, I have the new listing here from the
Okay.
property appraiser if you need it.
The photos that we've been reviewing, they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violation that you saw at the property?
Yes.
And just for the record, the photos showed a wooden fence on both sides of the property. That's the fence you're referring to?
Yes.
Um, Give me just one moment. Special Magistrate, the city would like to reschedule this case, and we'll bring it back if needed, since there's a new owner and they have applied.
Yeah, she, like I said, she's been in contact with me, and she just applied for the permit on 1/9, so I just saw the new property appraiser thing yesterday when I was printing this out.
Okay. Okay, very good.
All right.
I thought you might.
Thank you.
Number 18, 830 Winter Street, CE 22120158.
Joseph Oliva, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on 12/14/2022. Service was accomplished by certified mail and regular mail sent on 12/15/2022. Certified mail was returned on 12/26/2022. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on 12/14/2022. There is an affidavit of posting in the case. I have not been in contact with the owner of the property. This property was cited for 94-482-A unpaved parking, 34-102-A junk or in-op vehicle. As of this morning, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for an additional 10 days for them to come into compliance. If they do not come into compliance, then the city's asking for $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer Oliva. Just a couple of questions. The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
With respect to the vehicle or vehicles parked on unpaved surfaces, can you just tell us what it is you observed?
Okay, you got that vehicle right there that's parked on an unpaved surface, and it's inoperable. There's a picture in there. I don't even think there's a wheel on the other side of the vehicle. There's no plate on the vehicle. Then you got it looks like a tow truck with another vehicle on top of it. And on my initial inspection, when I first went out to the property, it was parked in the front, and it didn't have a car on it either. Now there's another car up there.
Okay, thank you. And
There it is.
I apologize, I don't know if I asked you, the photographs accurately depict what you observed, is that accurate?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents into evidence as City's Composite Exhibit 1. So it looks like there are multiple vehicles being parked on unpaved surfaces, and it looks like there's at least one inoperable vehicle being parked here.
Yes.
With a smashed windshield and damage to the body of the vehicle. Did you speak with any of the residents of this? I assume this is a residential home?
Yes.
As opposed to a vehicle junkyard, which it appears to be as well.
And I just found it strange because I cited them before for the property needed to be cleaned up, and the gentleman called me, and he cleaned his property up. I mean, the property looks nice now, other than these in-op vehicles on it and unpaved parking. But this time, they didn't contact me, and I knocked on their door, nobody answered.
And no response to your notices that were posted and mailed?
No, sir.
Interesting. Yeah, I try very hard to sort of see if I can give people the benefits of the doubt, but I don't know what to do here other than to follow your recommendation. Certainly can't, I'm sure the neighbors don't want that. Goodness, is that a tow truck?
Yeah, it looks like a tow truck, yeah. It was actually parked in the front, right by the, on my initial pitch, it was in the, more towards the sidewalk. On the initial inspection when I first did it.
And that was just parked there at the side of the
Yeah,
home?
now I just backed it up,
How long were you there?
see?
Was that taken at 2 different times? Once it was
Yes,
parked?
this was my initial, this is what got the case written up, was this inspection here.
So one time you were there, the truck was in the front of the home, and then once the truck was at the side of the home?
Now with a car on top of it too.
Was that 2 different days, or was that twice?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I can't give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. All right, KCE 2212015A to make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find property in violation of 34102A. There are junk vehicles on the property, and 940482A, there are vehicles parked on unpaved surfaces on the property. Respondent has 10 days to bring their property in compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 19905 13th Street, CE 2211047.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property, 905 13th Street, was initially cited November 15th, 2022. Certified mail was sent out December 21st, 2022. The property and City Hall was posted December 20th, 2022, and was signed and returned on December 23rd. This property was cited for clean and sanitary conditions, excessive growth, clean to the center of the right-of-way. I have not been in contact with this property owner, and he has since attempted to pick up all the trash and debris and cut the lot, but has only halfway done it, completed it. He's left a whole bunch out, and he's been procrastinating quite a bit. The city is requesting 10 additional days or 150 days thereafter to come in compliance.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. Officer Underwood, is there an executed affidavit of postage in your file?
Yes, there is.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, it does.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
Just for the record, is this a vacant property?
Yes.
And can you please tell us what it is that you observed at the property that lead you to believe there are alleged violations?
The overgrown grass, weeds, and most of all the trash and debris on the front side of the road and on the alleyway on the back.
Okay. And the excessive growth is throughout the entire
Correct.
property?
Throughout the whole center of the lot, yes.
And I may have missed it, I apologize. So they've tried to clean up a little bit, they're not all the way there.
It looks like somebody has came in and tried to mow it in the center and let it go again, and it's back tall again, and the trash and debris is still there.
Okay, thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as City's Composite Exhibit 1. Officer Underwood, is it your testimony that when was the last time you were out there, sir?
Yesterday morning?
And the current state of the property is that it is currently still overgrown and that there is still trash and debris
Overgrowth,
around?
trash and debris, correct. There should be pictures in my right there.
What's the most recent ones?
Yep.
Okay, so that's from?
Yesterday.
You're moving way too fast for me to see anything. Okay. So that looks kind of cut, no? Or, well, I guess that area looks bad still, huh?
These property owners are coming out. They do once every 2 months trims and then let it go, and trash and debris builds up, the grass builds up, the weeds build up, and they just let it go. And like I said, I have not been in contact with the owner at all.
Some ways this has got to be difficult for them as well, right? Because the trash and debris outside the fence has got to be difficult for them to maintain. But they've never reached out to you to try and figure out how to deal with it, huh?
Correct.
I'm sorry, what remedy were you seeking, sir?
10 additional days or 150 per day until compliance is achieved.
Where on the property is it currently in excess of 6 inches?
I'm sorry, excuse me?
I'm sorry, where on the property is it currently in excess of 6 inches? Is it just on the outer parts?
Even the center, the picture doesn't do any justice. Even in the center, it's at least a foot tall.
So-
Some along the edges where the fence row is, out 20, 30 feet is even higher than that. If you're seeing those pictures right there, the grass is weeds, I call them weeds, but. Yeah,
Go
it's
back
over-
to the pictures that are present, because if I'm going to
That's the
issue an
initial, yep,
order,
that was my initial site, which was a courtesy letter, and I gave them 30 days, and they waited until the absolute last day to pick up
I
the
think
trash.
we can both agree that the November pictures are clearly a violation.
Correct.
What's important is I have to give them notice as to what is current, what is the, so if I send them a violation now and I say,
Go
hey,
back, yeah,
you're still in current, you're still in violation,
Correct.
they have to have some kind of understanding about what
Right
the
there.
problem currently is that
So
they have
on
to
the, on
correct.
the left-hand side of the picture, underneath the tree over there, the all the way out to about that first or second post going backwards right there, and that whole area toward me is at least 1.5 feet tall. The trash and debris along the parkway area, there's a door there or a countertop or something, the bags of garbage throughout.
Okay, I'm just going to frame it like this. I'm going to just say in the order that there are still portions of the grass that are in excess of 6 inches, and there is still trash and debris scattered on the property, and I think
Fair enough.
that's descriptive enough that they can understand what it is that they're not in compliance with. All right. All right, in case CE 22110147, I make the following findings of fact in law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18106A, 18106B, and 7404C5. Specifically, there are still portions of the property that grass and reeds that are in excess of 6 inches in height, and there are still portions of the property in which trash and debris are on the property. I'm going to give the respondent 10 days to come into compliance or a fine of up to $150 per day.
Number 201382 North Magonia Drive, CE 22110182.
Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property, 1382 North Magnolia Drive, was initially cited on November 18th, 2022. Certified mail was sent out December 30th, 2022. The property and City Hall were posted January 3rd, 2023. We have certified returned letter January 5th, 2023. I have not been in contact with this property owner either, and the city is requesting 10 additional days or $150 a day thereafter. This property initially started off as a courtesy also, giving him 30 days with no response. And after that, he was sent a notice of violation.
Thank you, Officer Underwood. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, there is.
And was the notice of violation also sent via first-class regular mail?
Yes, it was.
And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violation that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
And can you just please describe for the record what it is you observed that you believe leads to an alleged violation?
Pretty much just the overgrowth on this property. The rest of it looks pretty decent, but the backyard hasn't been mowed in, I can't even tell you how long. The front yard obviously is at least 2 foot tall. It's so bad that the neighbor is actually cutting almost half of his front yard, as you can see in that picture right there. And we've had many complaints about the overgrowth and attractive nuisance for animals and rats and stuff, so.
Is this a property on a corner? How do you know about the backyard?
Go back to the pictures. You can look through the side. Yeah, the original pictures. If you look through between the two houses, you can see some of the backyard and see that the grass is waist high. Keep going. Oops. Right there.
Is
This
there any
backs up-
evidence, is there any evidence of maintenance at all?
Excuse me?
Is there any evidence of maintenance at all? That
Absolutely none. No, zero contact, no maintenance, no nothing. And this property backs up to Gaines Park, which is on the backside, and you can see this property from the parking lot of Gaines Park also.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as City's Composite Exhibit 1. What remedy was the city seeking here?
An additional 10 days or $150 a day thereafter.
You said you had no contact with anyone on this property?
Correct.
Is anyone living here? Is this a resident?
I see a vehicle coming in and out. As you can see in the pictures, there was a pickup truck there, and then a couple days later it'd be gone and then comes back. So I'm assuming somebody's staying there, but other than that, I have had no contact with anybody.
The neighbors must be thrilled, huh? Is that, was this a neighbor complaint?
Oh, this was a drive-by by me personally, but since, 30 days, I've had complaints about it.
When you posted the door, nobody responded?
Correct.
And nobody's responded to the registered mail or the regular mail?
Correct.
All right, in case CE 22110182, I make the following findings of fact in law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18106B. The grass and weeds exceed 6 inches in height. I order the respondent to come into compliance within 10 days, or a fine of $150 per day may issue.
Number 21, 1433 North Magonia Drive, CE 22110226.
Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property, 1433 North Mangolian Drive, was initially cited November 29th, 2022. Certified mail was sent out December 30th, 2022. City Hall and the property were posted January 3rd, 2023, and certified mail was returned January 6th, 2023. I have been in contact with this owner that has been cited for excessive growth, bulk goods, and tree and hedge obstruction to the right-of-way. I have been in contact with the tenant. He is working on it. He started yesterday afternoon, to be exact, cleaning up, cutting the grass, removing all the junk and debris. I think he's on par for getting it cleaned up and everything up to code within the next 10 days, but there's still a pile of trash and stuff and debris out at the road that he's accumulated. You can see in the other pictures from yesterday that are in the bottom. So the city is requesting 10 additional days and $150 a day thereafter.
I'm sorry, did you say 150?
$150 a day thereafter, only because there's a large pile of debris out at the road, and sometimes they have to pay for a special pickup, and I don't want the pile to sit out there, or, excuse me, the city doesn't want the pile to sit out there, 2 weeks.
Sure. So just a couple of questions, please. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, there is.
And does that reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
And can you just take a moment for the record to tell us, there was one that you didn't mention. Are you still going forward on alleged violation of 18106A, clean and sanitary?
Yes.
Okay. And can you just take a moment for the record and describe to us what we're seeing here in the photos?
The sidewalk is obstructed. You can't walk down the sidewalk without rushing into or running into that bush right there, which he has since trimmed back already. So it's trimmed back quite a bit as of yesterday morning. I have not gone back there this morning to see his progress.
So we're not proceeding under 74-4C4?
Excuse me?
So we're not going to proceed under obstructing the right-of-way?
Correct, yes. The 10 additional days was mostly for the trash and debris that was, and bulk goods that were out at the road.
And can you just describe, for the record, the trash and debris that you observed and the bulk goods you observed? What it?
Right there. So in his driveway and in the front yard of the other pictures, there's a refrigerator, there's, bins, there's branches, logs, bushes, and all the, right there, the debris from trimming the bushes, trimming the trees, cutting the grass, all of that stuff.
So is there, I'm so sorry, the excessive growth, 18106B, is that still outstanding in your
As of this,
estimation?
yesterday afternoon, no. He has cut the grass and was in the process of working on the bushes. So,
Okay. So so just to be very clear, what's still outstanding? The alleged 18106A?
yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And
Bulk goods,
74-4B?
correct.
Okay, very good. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence, city's composite exhibit 1. So basically, he has to just get rid of that pile of junk that's on front of his property, right?
And complete doing the rest, yes, correct.
Okay. All right, in case CE 22110226, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find this is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18106A and 744B. The respondent is violation of 18106A clean and sanitary and 744B outdoor storage. He has to remove the garbage and debris and the outdoor storage on his property within 10 days or face a fine of up to $150 per day.
Thank you.
Number 23, 3637 South Olive Avenue, CE 22080382.
Good morning, Sonia Bin, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on August 23rd, 2022. Notice of violation was posted at the property and at City Hall on August 23, 2022. Certified mail was sent on August 23, 2022. The property was cited for codes 2232A, 22441, and 94485B1E. I have made contact with the property owner, as well as the property manager, as well as a representative from zoning, as well as a representative from the historic department. To date, the property is still in violation for all codes cited. The city is requesting an additional 45 days to gain compliance or $100 per day until compliance is achieved. I also attached to the case copies of emails from the zoning department with the representative Valentina, as well as Frederic from the historic department. The property owner reached out to the zoning department about, the property was cited for the rental license and COU, as well as paving the parking lot. It's all covered with gravel. Give me one moment. There was an email sent on November 14, 2022 from Frederic. She is the city's historic preservation planner. In that email, she gave the property owner the two options: either pave 20 feet of the driveway and the rest could be gravel, or pave the entire driveway. Both options require permits. As of today, the property is still out of compliance for all code case cited. I do have a copy of that email as well as it's attached to the case.
Thank you very much. Just a couple of questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Correct.
And was the notice of violation sent by regular first-class mail?
Correct.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Correct.
And just for the record, is this a multi-unit apartment building?
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just for the record, it is being currently rented? There
Yes,
are
it's being
tenants
rented,
currently?
yeah.
And you confirm that?
Yes.
Okay. And is there any evidence that they've applied for permits that you know of?
I can't answer that question at this time.
Okay. But even if they just applied for them, there's no evidence that they've been issued permits?
No.
Or
No.
anything of that nature?
Correct.
And have they been in contact with you in relation to saying, we've submitted the permits, we've applied, we've anything?
Correct.
Okay. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, the email communications, and any and all other documents relied upon.
I'll accept those documents and evidence, the city's composite exhibit 1. All right, so I'm going to admit some confusion here. So as those documents were flying by a little bit on the quick side, there seems to be some correspondence between the city and the owner over these pavers. So can you just sort of give me the summary here? What's going on here?
So, excuse me. I have an email between Federic, Valentina in the zoning department, as well as Paul, which is the property owner. And I also was copied on this email. And they pretty much gave him the two options, either pave 20 feet off the driveway or pave the entire driveway. And both options requires permits. So the property owner are aware of it, of the two options, and what is required to move forward. I have the email here, and it's also attached to the case as well.
All right, so I briefly saw, as it was flying by my screen, a response from the property owner saying something about how it didn't make sense for them to do something.
Yes, because the area is a historic area, so that's why in the email is also stated, because it's a historic property, he's required to do 20 feet of the driveway, because if you look at the photos, the entire driveway is covered with gravel. And to prevent any runoff into the storm system, so that's the reason why the city is requesting for him to do either 20 feet or the entire driveway.
And also, Special Magistrate, up on the screen, it appears that there has been some type of an application for the driveway, but it is unclear from this particular information whether that permit has actually been
Yes, I don't think it was
issued.
obtained. Yes.
But it's at least been applied for, it appears.
I presume whatever this conflict is between them and the city over this driveway is what's preventing them from obtaining a renter's license? Is that what's causing this issue?
No. No. So the property, if I'm not mistaken, they applied for that. They never reached back out to schedule the rental inspection. So to date, that still is pending, as well as the driveway violation.
So the paved or marked driveway issue has nothing to do with the certificate of use and rental license issue?
Correct.
So those are totally unrelated?
Correct. He was cited because he never had his rental license for the property.
Oh, okay. And is the property currently being rented?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. So, so that's the easy one, right?
Yeah. The rental license is the easy one.
Have you been in contact with the owner of the property?
I have.
Do you know why they're not here today?
Oh, I don't know. I spoke to him back last year sometime, probably October.
Sorry, I sort of jumped in on your part. Let me let the city attorney finish her section before I jump back in.
I'm sorry, it was a little hard to hear you, sir. Could you repeat? Are you waiting on me, sir? Are you waiting on me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, in relation to, I do see 2 permit numbers in here. It's a little hard for me to determine the status of the permits. It's permit 22120045 and 221000819. Other than that, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, all email communications, permit applications, and any and all other documents relied upon. Were you looking for something else from me, sir?
I'm sorry, I was reading the code section.
Were you looking for anything else from me, sir?
No, I guess the certificate of use and the rental license, that's pretty typical of something we do here. The paved or marked parking, it's not clear to me exactly what that's about. So there's a historic issue with that, right?
Correct. So that's the reason why the entire driveway cannot be covered with gravel. The Historic and Zoning Department approved for 20 feet from the walkway, the sidewalk, to be paved, or the entire area that is gravel to be paved. So those are the 2 options that the zoning department provided the property owner.
So what's the underlying violation? I mean, what's the violation per se there? Is it's
The
becoming
entire driveway is
disrepair?
covered with gravel.
So did they do something, or did it become in disrepair? I mean, what constitutes the violation that they did there?
The entire driveway is covered with gravel, and it cannot be. So 20% of that area need to be covered, could be paved.
So just the fact that it's covered in gravel is what constitutes
Correct,
the
because
violation?
it's a violation where the gravel could be a runoff into the drain system.
That's interesting. And so, so I'm starting to understand what the issue here is. So the city gave them some options consistent with the requirements of a historical property about what they could do with it.
Correct.
And they seem unhappy with those options.
I don't think the owner is happy to do anything at all.
Okay. All right, I think I understand here. And the issue about the certificate of use and the rental license is an entirely different issue that just happens to be on the same property.
Right.
Okay. All right. I'm catching on here. It's just taking me a minute. All
Okay.
right. Now, so what's the remedy the city's seeking here?
45 days or $100 a day until the compliance is achieved.
All right. And that's the remedy you want for all of these sections?
Correct.
Okay. And we did notice by posting and by certified and regular mail?
Correct.
Okay. All right, in case CE 220803882, I make the following findings of fact and live phone notice is sufficient. I found the property in violation of 2232A, 2244 1. Specifically, I note that there is no certificate of use nor a rental license on a property that is being used as a rental property. And I find violation of 94.485B1E, specifically that the property has is not using a paved and marked parking area inconsistent with requirements of the city code, specifically that it's gravelled inconsistently with the way the city requires. I'm giving the respondent 45 days to bring the property into compliance with these code sections, or a fine of up to $100 per day, Mayor.
Number 24, 810 El Vedado, CE 22110234.
Sonny Bin, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on November 29th, 2022. Notice of violation was posted at the property and at the City Hall and on November 30th, 2022. Certified mail was sent on December 1st, 2022. The property was cited for codes 18106A, trash and debris, and 9471C, outdoor storage that consists of multiple items such as plastic containers, recycle bins, tires, mattresses, ladder, etc. I'm sorry. I have not made contact with the property owner. The property is still out of compliance for codes 18106A and 9471C. The city is requesting an additional 10 days to gain compliance, or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer Binns, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
And does the affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Correct.
And can you just tell us a little bit more? You told us a little bit about the outdoor storage. What is it about the trash and debris that you were seeing?
Yes, so if you look at the photos, there's yes. Dead vegetation, trash overflowing from the recycle bin.
I'm sorry, it's a little hard to hear you.
I said there's trash overflowing from the recycle bin around the exterior of the property, the sides.
Okay. And you talked about the outdoor storage that you were seeing.
Correct. So inside furniture, plastic containers, bottles, mattresses, stuff like that. Ladders are being stored around the property, whether the side and the front and the rear of the property.
Thank you. You previously said that there's been no contact from the owner. Has there been any evidence that they're making progress on anything?
A little, but it's still outdoor storage.
Okay.
Being present.
In one of the recent photos, there's actually a basketball rim right there. Is that part of what will need to be removed or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence. The city's composite exhibit 1. So we got outdoor storage, we got clean and sanitary. We got all those things still existing. All those things still ongoing?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Did you say you'd spoken with the owner?
No, I have not.
And the remedy you were seeking?
I'm sorry?
The remedy you were seeking?
10 days, or $100 per day thereafter.
All right, CE 22110234, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation 18106A. 9471C, there is trash and debris on the property. There is also outside storage, including plastic containers, recycle bins, tires, mattresses. Respondent has 10 days to bring the property in compliance or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Next case number 25, 611 53rd Street, CE 22110082.
City of West Beach Code Compliance, Robert Watkins. This property was cited on November 3rd. Certified mail was sent November 4th. Certified mail was returned November 15th. City Hall was posted December 12th. This property was cited for unpaved parking, overgrowth, outdoor storage, landscape, sodding of the landscaping, garbage can placement, excessive growth, dead vegetation, and trash and debris. The only violation that's come into compliance as of yesterday was the unpaved parking. Remaining violations are overgrowth, outdoor storage, sodding of bare areas, garbage can placement, excessive growth, dead vegetation, and trash and debris. I've spoke with the property owner several occasions who kept demanding that I go out and inspect that the property was all clean, but as you can see through all the dates and the pictures that it hasn't. So the city's requesting additional 20 days or $100 a day after.
Thank you. Officer Watkins, just a couple of questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, there is.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And was the property posted with the notice of violation?
Yes, it was.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, it does.
For each remaining alleged violation, could you please tell us, for the record, what it is you observed that you believe makes these alleged violations?
Right, trash and debris, right there. She keeps clicking. You'll see more trash, overgrowth. You can see it all around the fence.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry.
There's
Okay,
trash
yeah,
and
it's hard to
debris,
hear you.
but you can see the trash and debris there. There's overgrowth as she keeps clicking through the image. You can see it all around the tree fence line, outdoor storage of all types outside. As she keeps going through the pictures, you'll see tires, you'll see couches, love seats, all kind of trash and debris all in the swell, like they've been changing oil and just leaving the oil containers out there. There's tires, you name it is outside.
And the grass and weeds, are those around the entire property?
It's overgrown all over the place.
Okay, and I apologize, you may have said it, the trash can is visible from the public?
Yes, it is.
And you're still seeing that upon your reinspection?
Yep, as of yesterday it was.
Excellent. And just to confirm, you indicated that the alleged violation of 9442A parking is now in compliance. Is that accurate? Okay, very good. Thank you. Other than that, coming into compliance, are you seeing any progress with any of the other alleged violations?
Only parking.
Very good. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence of City's Composite Exhibit 1. Did you say you had been in contact with the respondent?
The tenant and the homeowner, and they both, I get calls that it's all been cleaned up, and then when I go out there, it's exactly what you see
Don't
there.
look too clean to me.
Nah, not at all.
Do you believe all these things can be cleaned up within 20 days?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, in case CE 22110082, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient from the property can order the property come to compliance within 20 days. Sorry, I find the property in violation of the following sections. 18106A, clean and sanitary. There's trash and debris all across this property. 18106B, there are grass and weeds in excess of 6 inches. 74334A1J, there is a trash can visible to the public. 744C3, there are grass and weeds on the property that are overgrown. 744C5, the right-of-way on the property has trash and debris on it. 94442C1, the landscaped areas on this property are missing sod and grass and need a natural grass cover. 9471C, there is outdoor storage all over this property. I give the respondent 20 days to come into compliance or fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
Number 26, 520 54th Street, CE 22110100.
City of West Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited November 4th. Certified mail was sent November 4th. Certified mail was returned November 10th. City Hall was posted December 12th. This property was cited for overgrowth, outdoor storage, garbage can placement, and excessive growth. Compliant violations are the overgrowth, outdoor storage, and excessive growth. Remaining violations are just the garbage can placement. I haven't had any correspondence with the property owner or anyone there. The city's requesting additional 20 days or $25 per day after.
Thank you. Officer Watkins, just a couple of questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
And was the notice of violation mailed via first class regular mail?
Was. Yes, it was.
And was the notice of violation posted at the property?
Yes, it was.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations you've observed at the property?
Yes.
And I believe you indicated that it's the garbage can that you still believe is out of compliance. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's just right in the driveway as of yesterday. It's
And-
been there every day I went by there, actually.
And so it's your testimony that you can view it from the public sidewalk?
Absolutely.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those in evidence. The city's composite exhibit 1. If I understood you correctly, sir, you were saying that everything is in compliance except for the garbage can?
Yep, that's all.
Well, that's a first. Just moving the garbage can out of the public right-of-way is the only thing they haven't done.
That's the only thing.
They've fixed that fence and everything else?
Yeah, cut the grass, the fence, all the overgrowth off the fence, all that's been taken care of.
Fascinating. And you said you had no contact with them?
None at all.
Okay. In case CE 22110100, I make the following findings of fact and life. I notice is sufficient. I found the property in violation of Code Section 7434A1J. I give the respondent having a garbage can visible to the public. I give the respondent 20 days to bring the property into compliance, or a fine of $25 per day may issue.
Number 275011 Broadway, CE 22110134.
City of West Beach Code Compliance, Robert Watkins. This property was cited November the 7th. Certified mail was sent November 8th. Certified mail was returned November 14th. City Hall was posted December 12th. This property was cited for outdoor storage, dumpster screening, obstruction of the right-of-way, and clean and sanitary. Compliant violations were the dumpster screening. Remaining violations are commercial outdoor storage, trash debris, and obstruction of the right-of-way. The city is requesting 40 days or $150 per day after. I have spoken with Eric Snyder in Development Services, which is the principal planner. They told me that they gave him a call. I spoke to him as of yesterday. He hasn't heard from them at all. I've also talked to the owner and the manager several occasions that they were supposed to have access for their deliveries on property, and they've been blocking the whole street on 50th.
Thank you. Officer Watkins, a couple of questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, it does.
And was the property posted with a notice of violation?
Yes, it was.
Do the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, it does.
With respect to the remaining issues that you've observed that you believe lead to a violation, can you please tell us a little bit about what you observed?
Well, and those pictures right there, that's the day the ambulance and the fire truck couldn't get down, but their delivery drivers, all of them just blocked the whole entire road. So no one could go either way. They blocked driveways of residents. Trash can't get picked up. There's trash and debris on the property. There's several commercial outdoor storage in the back. All their pallets and everything, they just stack them up outside. They have a storage spot along the back side of the store, which they don't use. They just stack everything outside.
And is this a like a strip plaza, or?
It's a supermarket that sits on Broadway and
Okay.
between 49th and 50th Street.
Okay, thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the Case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as City's Composite Exhibit 1. So the clean and sanitary we're talking about is the some of those pictures we're looking at, like, look that there's some trash and debris on the property.
Ye-
The obstruction is those trucks.
Yes, sir.
I don't think I saw the dumpster screening issue.
Well, the dumpster was placed in, that's why that was the only one that was complied. The dumpster was right there, was left out, but right behind it, those white doors is naturally where they placed their dumpster in to screen it on all sides.
And they're putting materials outside.
Yes, all the pallets and, when they get deliveries and things of that nature, they just leave them outside on the 50th Street side. There's pallets, there's old containers where produce, and they have a spot on the side of the store that runs the whole back. They put nothing there. It just gets stacked all outside on the 50th Street corner side of the store.
Sounds like they have a series of business practices that are not consistent with city codes.
Yeah, there's several of them. Like I say, I spoke with planning, and they park their trucks right in front of the no parking sign, matched pretty much up to the stop sign, to the point where, it's a headache and hassle for people who actually live on the street next to the store and across the street, because they can't even go home or get out during the times they have deliveries.
Have you had conversations with the store management?
Yeah, he argued me down that the city was okay with that, and I was like, there's no way the city gave you any permission to park on all sides of the street. So that's when I got involved with Eric Snyder, who's the principal planner, and he said the same thing. He reached out, they didn't call him back. I reached out, they're telling us that they're calling one of us, but they're not. So I'm not sure what they're doing from this point on.
How did you arrive at this recommendation?
Well, due to the fact that when I spoke to Mr. Snyder yesterday, all they were supposed to do was the parking that they have their employees on, that was supposed to be the access for their deliveries, and they're not using it. They're just using it for their employee parking and leaving the main lot on 48th open, or 49th open. And pretty much to me, like I spoke to the owner, I said, if you actually get a date and a time that your deliveries come and kind of stagger the time that they come instead of just having everyone show up knowing that you have limited space for your deliveries.
I mean, the dumpster screening, the outdoor storage, and the clean and sanitary are pretty clear what they need to do. The obstruction of the right-of-way, it seems like the city needs to come up with a clear sort of plan for what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. I'm not sure that's as clear. Like, are they allowed to park, one truck up there, no trucks up there?
There's no parking signs right where they park the truck.
So they're just not allowed to put trucks there,
Yeah,
period.
Not period. There's, in some of the pictures, you'll see the no parking sign is literally right by the door of the truck. And they just park there, get out, and do all their unloading. There's images where they actually have two trucks across from each other, and the forklift is coming out of one truck, and the next forklift's coming out of the other one, and they're there for 30 minutes sometimes.
So that's just not permitted.
Not at
It's
all.
not a question of that there's 3 trucks that are blocking it. There's no truck supposed to be there.
Yeah, they're supposed to use well, there's a picture where there is a truck that's in that area, is where they're supposed to be doing their deliveries, but unfortunately.
All those trucks are supposed to be out back?
Well, they come in, there's a driveway on the backside of this, and they're supposed to come in there and go right back out to Broadway. But instead, they just come down 50th Street like they are there, and they just stack up.
All right. I think they probably need to sit down with the city, but we'll see if this will help them get to that. All right, in case CE 22110134, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18106A, 71C, 94315A, and 94315B1. Specifically, There is trash and debris on the property. They're obstructing the right-of-way, specifically with the trucks on the city streets. They have not properly screened their dumpsters, and they're storing outdoor goods without screening them. Respondent has 40 days to come into compliance or fine of up to $150 per day, May issue.
Number 28, 605 48th Street, CE 22110162.
City of West Palm Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited on November 16th. Certified mail was sent November 17th. Certified mail was received November 21st. City Hall was posted December 12th. The property was cited for maintaining of landscape, fence maintenance, excessive growth, trash and debris, and dead vegetation, compliant violations or maintaining of landscaping, excessive growth and dead vegetation. Remaining violations are fence permit and trash and debris. The city is requesting 30 days at our $100 per day after.
I'm sorry, I missed it. How many days and how much?
30 days and $100 per day after.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes,
And does the affidavit reflect that the notice was sent by regular first-class mail?
yes,
And was the notice posted at the property?
yes, it was.
What kind of a property is this? Is it a vacant?
Yes, a vacant, was a vacant lot that's currently up for sale.
And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations you observed?
Yes,
For the alleged violations that you believe are outstanding still, can you tell us for the record what it is you observed?
there's, you see there's just trash and debris all along the swell and the main fence of the property on both sides, and the fence that's in disrepair, they just put up a piece of board leaning up against it. That's in a couple of images as well. That's, I guess, they're supposed to be their remedy to repair of the chain link fence. And those are only two that are still out of compliance.
Okay. So the two, I just want to make sure I have it correctly, the two that you believe are out of compliance are the 18106A and 94302A4? Or what?
No,
Which
the
ones do you?
94302A4, yep, you're correct, and the 18106A.
Okay. And all the others you believe have been brought into compliance?
Yes, they've cut
Okay,
and
very good.
cleaned everything.
Thank you so much. And have you had contact with anyone?
Yes, I have one phone call with the property owner,
Okay.
just in reference to what all needed to be done on the property.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, we'll accept those documents and evidence as city's composite exhibit 1. So they've cut it, they've cleaned up the right-of-way, and they've done some maintenance to the landscaping, but there's still trash on the property, and it looks like the fence is still in disrepair?
Yes, there is.
Okay. And you said you had one interaction with the respondent?
Yeah, I sent the images, and I talked to him on the phone, let him know everything that had needed to be done. Even down to the swell, the area of the grass that's missing, the contractors want to replace it because they're doing wiring in the area, but the fence is just leaning up a board to it doesn't fix the problem with it being open.
Okay. In case CE 22110162, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 18106A. There is still trash and debris on this property, and 94302A4. The fence is still in a state of disrepair. I give the respondent 30 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of up to $100 per day. May issue.
Number 36, 4183 North Haverhill Road, 703 CE 221000356.
Good morning. Good morning once again, Officer Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code. This property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Service was accomplished by certified mail, which was signed for on 10/28/2022. There is an active application in the system for a license, but there is a balance of $337.95 and no inspections conducted on the unit.
Sorry, which number is this? 36?
Yes.
Okay.
So the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance with payment and inspections, or $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. Officer Levine, we have up on the screen now an advertisement for rental of this particular property. Just to be clear, is this ad for this particular unit?
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, the unit is down at the bottom, I see, 703. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so it's your testimony that the certified mail was signed for?
Certified mail was signed for, and there is an active application in the system with a balance of $337.95 and no inspections conducted. So what we require right now is just the payment and the inspections to come into compliance.
Okay. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, certified mailing documents.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as City's Composite Exhibit 1. When was that ad?
Right.
How long ago was that ad?
That was back in October.
To the best of your knowledge, is this property still actively being...
Yes, sir. There's an active application on file.
Have you had any contact with the owner or agent for this property?
No, sir.
City would also submit a copy of the application and the advertisement and all documents relied upon.
I'll accept those in evidence as well. When was the application made to rent this?
The application was made on 11/15. Well, it actually was processed because what happens is that the applications are emailed and sometimes there's a delay. So it could have been done in October, but it was processed on November 15.
So relatively recently. All right. I believe that's sufficient evidence to suggest that this thing is actively being sought to be rented. So in case CE 2210356, I make the following findings of fact in line if I notice sufficient. I find the property in violation of 2232A and 22441. I give the respondent 30 days to come into compliance or for failure to obtain a rental license and a certificate of use, or the respondent will be subject to a fine of up to $200 per day.
Thank you.
Number 38, 560 Village Boulevard, number 120, CE 22110029.
I'm sorry, what number did we go to?
Number 38.
All right, Don Williams, Code Enforcement, 560 Village Boulevard. The business name was the Atkins Medical Group, was cited on November 1st of 22. Certified mail sent out November 2nd of 22. The property City Hall posted January 1st of 23. No contact with the owner of the business. My recommendation would be 30 days to comply or $200 a day after that for the certificate of use, and for the business tax, a one-time fine of $250.
Thank you, Officer Williams. Just a couple of questions. It was a little hard to hear you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
It is.
And was the notice of violation also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And the photograph in the file, is that a photograph of the notice of violation posted at the property?
Actually hand-delivered, yes.
You hand-delivered?
Yes.
And were you able to confirm that the Atkins Medical Group is an ongoing current
It is, yes.
business? Okay, thank you. The Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
I'll accept those documents and evidence as City's Composite Exhibit 1. Sorry, Officer Williams, I didn't hear you in the beginning. What remedy were you seeking here?
We're seeking a 30 days to comply with certificate of use, or $200 a day after that. And for the ongoing business tax, one-time fine of $250.
And you said that you hand-delivered the notice to them in their office?
That will be the receptionist at the front desk, yes.
So I'm guessing when you were there, you observed that the Atkins Medical Group was in operation?
That is correct, yes.
That's pretty good evidence, generally speaking. I'm sorry, is there anything further from the city? Okay.
No.
All right, in case CE 22110029, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 2232A, certificate of use, and 82114, failure to obtain a business tax receipt. I hereby order the respondent to come to compliance with the failure to obtain a certificate of use within 30 days, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue. As to 82144, I hereby issue a one-time fine of $250.
Number 39, 560 Village Boulevard. Number 120, ABA Centers of Florida, CE 22110031.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. ABA Centers of Florida was cited on November 1st of 22. Certified mail was sent out November 2nd of 22. City Hall, and the business was posted January 1st of 23. Cited for a certificate of use, which I'm recommending 30 days to comply, or $200 a day after that, and a business tax receipt, which is the one-time fine recommendation of $250. No contact with the business owner. However, the certified mail posting was hand-delivered to the receptionist at the front desk.
Thank you. Officer Williams, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
It is.
And was the notice of violation also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And in this instance that we're talking about ABA Centers, Florida, is that accurate?
Yes.
And did the, when you hand-delivered, did the receptionist or other person confirm that the business was in operation?
Yes.
Thank you. And the photograph that we have, is that a truthful and accurately depict the posting for this property?
It is.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Accept those documents and evidence, the city's composite exhibit 1. All right, in case CE 22110031, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 2232A, certificate of use required, and 82144, business tax receipts. As to 2232A, certificate of use required, I give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance, or fine of up to $200 per day may issue. As to 82144, business tax receipts, I hereby fine the respondent $250.
Number 40, 560 Village Boulevard. Number 120, Motivated Connection Realty, CE 22110032.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. Motivated Connection Realty was cited on November 1st of 22. Certified mail sent on November 2nd of 22. That certified mail was received and signed for November 9th of 22. And when the property was posted January 1st of 23. Cited that property for a certificate of use, which my recommendation is 30 days to obtain, or $200 fine after that, and a business tax receipt for a one-time fine recommendation of $250. No contact with the business owner. The posting was left with the receptionist at the front desk, who verified that that business is still in operation.
Thank you. And this is for the Motivated Connection Real Estate? Realty. Correct?
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
It is.
And was that, does that reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And was the notice of violation also posted at City Hall?
Yes.
And I believe there's a photograph of posting. Is that an accurate photograph of posting for this particular business and property?
Actually hand-delivered, yes.
Okay. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Accept those documents and evidence, the city's composite exhibit 1. In case CE 22110032, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 2232A and 82144. I hereby give the respondent 30 days to come into compliance with 2232A, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue. As to 82144, I hereby issue a one-time fine of $250.
Number 41, 560 Village Boulevard, number 120, Apex Roofing Restoration, CE 22110036.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. Apex Roofing and Restoration was cited on November 1st of 22. Certified mail sent November 2nd of 22. That mail was received by them on November 9th of 22. City Hall posted, and the property posted January 5th of 23. I cited this business for a certificate of use. My recommendation would be 30 days to obtain that certificate, or a $200 day fine after that, and a business tax receipt, which my recommendation would be a one-time $250 fine for that violation. No contact with the business owner. The certified mail was hand-delivered to that business, received by the receptionist, and verified that the business is still in operation.
Officer Williams, I apologize. I'm having a real problem hearing you today, so if I ask you to repeat any information. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And the photograph that we're reviewing, is that an accurate photograph of the hand delivery and/or posting of the notice of violation for this particular Apex Roofing business and property?
It is.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, and any and all other documents relied upon.
I'll admit those documents and evidence, the city's composite exhibit 1. Okay, in case CE 22110036, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 2232A and 82144 as to 2232A. Give the respondent 30 days to come into compliance, or fine of up to $200 per day may issue. As to 82144, I issue a one-time fine of $250.
Number 42, 560 Village Boulevard, number 120, PBC Tax, CE 22110038.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. PBC tax was cited on November 1st of 22. Certified mail sent November 2nd of 22. The business was posted in City Hall January 5th of 23. PBC tax was cited for a certificate of use, which my recommendation would be 30 days to obtain, or a $200 a day fine after that, and the business tax receipt, which is a recommended one-time fine of $250. No contact with the owner of the business. Receptionist verified and accepted these posting, and verified the business is still in operation at that location.
Thank you, Officer Williams. Just a couple of questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photograph that we reviewed of the hand delivery or posting, is that an accurate photograph for posting for this PBC tax at this address?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, and any and all other documents relied upon.
I'll accept those documents and evidence, the city's composite exhibit 1. KCE 22110038, I'll make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 2232A and 82144. As to 2232A, I give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance, or fine of up to $200 per day may issue. As to 82144, issue a one-time fine of $250. I gotta say, as to that building, it's not a great example of compliance with the business tax receipts.
I know.
Number 43, 560 Village Boulevard, 120, Funding Experts, doing business as Amato Mortgage Experts, CE 22110042.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. The Funding Experts LLC was cited on November 1st of 22. Certified mail sent November 2nd of 22. The business posted or hand delivered the violation on January 5th of 23. I cited this business for a business tax receipt. My recommendation for business tax receipt would be a one-time fine of $250 and a certificate of use, recommending a 30 days to obtain or $200 a day fine after that. No contact with the business owner. Receptionist accepted the posting and verified the business is still in operation in that location.
Thank you. Officer Williams, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
Just to be clear on the record, this is for the business funding experts doing businesses motto mortgage experts. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And the photograph, is that an accurate photograph of the hand delivery and or posting
Yes.
property for this particular business? Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence of City's Composite Exhibit 1. In case CE 22110042, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient from the property in violation of 82144 and 2232A. As to 2232A, give the respondent 30 days to come into compliance, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue. As to 82144, issue a one-time fine of $250.
Number 44, 400 Village Boulevard, number G, blurry fades, CE 22120025.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. I cited this business blurry fades on December 5th of 22, certified mail sent December 5th of 22. Certified mail was received by the business on December 7th of 22. And also posted the property on January 18th of 23. I did have opportunity to speak to the business owner, and he said he would actually go ahead and try to comply and get his license. As of yesterday, that has not happened. I cited this business for a certificate of use, which my recommendation would be 10 days to comply or $100 a day fine after that, and a business tax receipt for a one-time fine, recommendation of $250. The previous license that they had expired September 30th of last year.
Thank you. Officer Williams, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
It is.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And was City Hall posted with the notice of violation?
Yes.
The photograph that we were reviewing, is that an accurate photograph of posting for this particular blurry fades business at this address?
Yes.
Officer Williams, you said you spoke to the owner and he said he was going to get the certificate of use?
That's correct.
City would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, and any and all other documents relied upon.
I'll accept those documents and evidence of City's Composite Exhibit 1. You said in this case you wanted to give him 10 days to obtain the certificate of use and business tax receipt?
That's correct.
Any reason you wanted to give him a shorter time frame than everybody else?
This is just a renewal. It's not an initial business tax.
Yeah, well, I've been giving everybody else 30 days though.
1 at 30? Okay, that's fine.
All right, in case CE 22120025, I'm going to make the following finding of fact and law. I find the respondent violation of, I find notice good and sufficient. I find the respondent violation of 82144 and 2232A. Give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance with 2232A, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue. As to 82144, I give the respondent a one-time fine of $250.
Number 45, 1897 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, 208 Victory Taxed, CE 22120026.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. Victory tax was cited on December 5th of 22. Certified mail sent out December 14th of 22. And the business was actually posted in City Hall January 1st of 23. This business was cited for a business tax receipt, which I'm recommending a one-time fine of $250, and a certificate of use, recommending 30 days to comply or $100 a day after that. This is a renewal, and the previous license expired September 30th of last year.
No contact with the business owners.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And the photograph that we reviewed, is that an accurate photograph of posting for this particular property at this address?
Yes.
And have you confirmed that Victory Tax is in operation?
It is. Yes.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as city's composite exhibit 1. Presumably, this is a place where people go for help with their taxes.
Yes. They should be busy real soon.
There's an irony there, right? You were looking for the 30 days 200 and one-time 250?
30 days 100 because of a renewal.
30 days 100?
Yes.
Why is it different here?
I'm sorry?
Why is it 100 here?
Well, that's what we've been recommending in the past for renewals, just a $100 day fine.
For renewals?
Yes.
Okay. All right, in case CE 2211200026, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 2232A and 82144. For the business tax receipt, were you still seeking the one-time fine of $250?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Okay. I find the property in violation of, I find notice good and sufficient to find the property in violation of 2232A and 82144. As to 2232A, give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue. As to 82144, I assess a one-time fine of $250.
Number 46, 1897 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, 220, Lawson Assurance Group, CE 22120029.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. Lawson Assurance Group was cited on December 5th of 22. Certified mail sent out December 6th of 22. The property posted in City Hall January 5th of 23. I cited this business for a business tax receipt, which I recommend a one-time fine of $250, and a certificate of use, which I'm recommending 30 days to obtain, or $100 a day fine after that. This is a renewal. The previous license expired September 30th of last year. No contact with business owners at this location.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And the photograph that is in the file, is that an accurate photograph of posting for this particular business, for this particular property?
Yes.
And have you confirmed that the business is in operation?
Yes.
Can you just indicate how is it you know it's still in operation?
I actually knocked on the door and stuck my head in the door.
I'm sorry?
I actually spoke with somebody at the location.
Very good, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, and any and all other documents relied upon.
I'll accept those documents into evidence as city's composite exhibit 1. In case CE 22120029, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 2232A and 82144. As to 2232A, give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance or fine of up to $100 per day may issue. As to 82144, issue a one-time fine of $250.
Number 47, 1897 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, 223, Deep Blue Realty, CE 22120033.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. I cited Deep Blue Realty on December 5th of 22. Certified mail sent out December 6th of 22. The property in City Hall actually posted on January 5th of 23. This business was cited for a business tax receipt, which I'm recommending a one-time fine of $250, and certificate of use. My recommendation is 30 days to obtain, or $100 a day fine after that. The previous license expired September 30th of 22, so this is a renewal. No contact with owners of the business, and I did verify that it is actually still in operation.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And the photograph that's in the file, is that a photograph of posting for this particular business at this property?
Yes.
And how is it that you know that it is still in operation?
I visit the location.
I'm sorry?
I visited the location and saw clients going in and out of the business.
Okay, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence. The city's compiled to Exhibit 1. KCE 221-20033, make the following findings of fact and law. Find notice is sufficient from the property in violation of 2232A and 82144. This is 2232A. Give the respondent 30 days to come into compliance or fine of up to $100 per day may issue. As to 82144, issue a one-time fine of $250.
And lastly, number 48, 1897 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, 770 Lost River LLC, CE 22120036.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. 77 Lost River LLC was actually cited December 5th, 22. Certified mail sent out December 6th of 22. Actually posted the building in City Hall January 6th of 23. This business was cited for a business tax receipt. I'm recommending a one-time fine of $250 for that. And in certificate of use, my recommendation is 30 days to comply or $200 a day fine after that. This actually business actually runs or owns this property at 1897 Palm Beach Lakes. They actually own the building, rent the spaces out to the other businesses on that location. I guess they're the management company, I guess that's what you call them.
And the business itself is 770 Lost River LLC?
That's the name of the management company, yes.
Thank you. And is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
It is.
And does that reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And the photograph that we've reviewed, is that an accurate photograph of the posting for this particular business at this property?
It is, yes.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence. The city's composite Exhibit 1. KCE 221-20036, to make the following findings of fact on law. Find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 82144 and 2232A. As to 82144, I issue a one-time fine of $250. As to 2232A, give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance or fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Just with that one, I believe you requested $200 a day, or?
All right, that brings us to our other matters agenda.
Yeah, 200.
I'm sorry, did I?
Yeah, 30 days, 200.
Okay, that was not a renewal?
No.
All right, let me amend that previous order. 2232A, I give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue. All right. All right, other matters agenda. Apologize to everybody who's been waiting. We ran a bit long on our earlier agenda, which is me. I'm usually a little quicker on the other earlier agenda, so sorry about that. So if you were coming in for the other matters agenda, you probably have not been sworn in. So this is the special master for the city of West Palm Beach. Cases are heard in the order in which they appear on the agenda. If you haven't, please make sure that you are signed in so that the city knows that you are here, and they call cases in which people have appeared. If you haven't signed in, your case is going to be held towards the end of the agenda, which will make you wait even longer than you already have. Cases are, so the cases proceed as follows. When you hear your case heard, go ahead and proceed to the podium on my right-hand side. The city is going to announce the case and present the procedural history of the case, after which time you'll be given the opportunity to do the following, which is most important, so listen carefully. You're going to get the opportunity, especially if there's a reduction of fine hearing, which looks like most of these appear to be, to tell me what you're requesting and why I should grant that to you. So it's important. Tell me what you are requesting that I do and why I grant that to you. It's important. What are you requesting that I do and why I grant that to you? After which time I will make a ruling. The This is a quasi-judicial hearing, which means that this is not a formal courtroom, but all testimony is taken under oath under penalty of perjury. So if you haven't been sworn in yet, which is probably true for most of you, I'm going to ask that you rise and raise your right hand, and I will swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. All right, please be seated. All right, the city can call the first one.
Number 8846 Park Place, CE 211-00283. Number 8846 Park Place.
Hello. Just a second.
This is number 8.
Yeah, number 8. Just a second. Okay. KCE 211-0283 was cited on October 21st, 2021. The property was taken to hearing on December 1st, 2021. Property was cited for, I'm sorry. Property was cited for excessive overgrowth. The property was given an additional 10 days or $100 per day. The property was out of compliance for 69 days, resulting in a lien amount of $6,900. The applicant is the cause of the violation. The city is seeking 25%.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
I'm Sherry Fields.
Sherry
Fields.
Fields.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me what you're asking me for and why I should grant that to you.
Good afternoon. I'm the homeowner. I purchased this home in October 2022. It's completely dilapidated property, uninhabitable. And I intended and have now completely rebuilt and rehabilitated the home. And it's, in my opinion, quite beautiful. It's the entry to Flamingo Park, which is a historic district. And when I purchased the home, it was uninhabitable and being occupied illegally by not the former owner, just somebody living there. So I went through great lengths to get that person removed legally from the property and then go through historic and the city to get permits to rehabilitate the property. During that process, I had to try and get rid of multiple liens and violations on the property, which I did methodically and intentionally and carefully to be in compliance during the waiting period for permits and after permits were issued, which took a very long time. Anyway, once my building permit was finally issued, I thought we would begin building immediately, but because there were supply problems and my builder was backed up, we couldn't start right away. So I innocently neglected to have the property cut. And it took a few weeks. I couldn't live there. I was away. I live south of here until the property was completed. So for a few weeks, I neglected to pass by. I didn't have forwarding mail because I didn't expect mail to go there. So I was advised when I called about the violation, when it came to my attention, that it was posted on the door. So when I went back to the property, there was nothing posted on the door, not suggesting that it wasn't posted on the door. I'm just saying that it was a dilapidated property and there was nothing there and I had no mailbox. In any event, as soon as I became aware of it and it came to my attention, I made contact. I came into compliance immediately, and I could not get a lien reduction inspection. I didn't know this because this is all new for me. I didn't know that I couldn't get a lien I couldn't have this hearing until my house was completely rebuilt. So the house is completed now, and I'm requesting the lien be reduced or removed completely. Thank you.
So I believe the city has offered to reduce it to 25%?
Yeah,
Which would be,
25%. Yeah.
my computer is really not working well today.
$1,725.
How much?
$1,725.
So the city has agreed to reduce it from $6,900 to $1,725.
And may I respond to that?
You can.
So, as I stated, I had the best of intentions of maintaining compliance and being a good neighbor, and that's very expensive for me. It was just a little bit of overgrowth. The house was neglected for many, many years, and I made the house a welcoming addition to the community, and I would appreciate anything you could do to reduce that further.
Make me an offer. I can tell you I'm not going to reduce it to zero, and I'll tell you why, especially for everybody that's sitting in the room. Generally, inadvertence isn't really a good reason, because primarily what we're trying to make sure that we encourage people to do is be vigilant members of the community and make sure that they maintain their property. What we don't want to do, especially because not just for the people in the room, the people that are watching on TV, is give anyone the idea, right, that if they come later and say, you know what, I was out of town, I wasn't here, and so when the things that happened to my property that made my neighbors really upset happened, I wasn't really responsible. So I can't really give that impression. I've got to really sort of help people sort of, take responsibility for their property. So I certainly can't say I'm going to wipe this away, but make me, a reasonable offer, and I'll try and see if I can work with you.
Right. So I'm a good neighbor, and I think that the community in Flamingo Park would say that, they're really happy with what I've done there. So I would hope that you'd be lenient. And I hate to bid against myself because I'm asking for a reduction here to as low as possible, but $250, it was a little bit of overgrowth. And it was totally my mistake. I'm taking full responsibility for it. But again, I didn't have forwarding mail, and I didn't know. I was very naive. Best of intentions. So the best you can do, and I appreciate anything you will do.
Well, I'm not going to go that low. The city said 25%, which was what, $1,725. I'll split their difference. What's half of $1,725?
Oh, Lord.
Wasn't it less than that? I thought it was 1,000.
Yeah. You're supposed to be the calculator, Mark. 862.50. So it's 863.
I'll do 863.
Thank you.
How much time?
How much time do you need?
To pay?
Yeah.
I'll pay immediately.
I'll give you 30 days.
Thank you.
Here's a copy of your order. Yeah. Case number 2-921 43rd Street, CE 21050326, number 2-921 43rd Street.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 21050326 was cited on May 24th, 2021 for repairing of the roof, walls, and foundation, clean and sanitary, bare landscape, and tree abuse. The property was taken to hearing on June 16, 2021. The property was given an additional 15 days or $100 a day for the clean and sanitary violation, bare landscape, and the tree abuse violation, and an additional 30 days or $100 or $150 a day for the roof, walls, and foundation. The property was out of compliance for 232 days for Code Section 1813B, resulting in a lien amount of $34,800. and 249 days for the remaining violations, resulting in a lien amount of $24,900. The applicants are new owners, so at this time, the city is seeking 15%.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, good afternoon. Jose Canas.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Jose Canas.
Jose Canas?
Yes.
Mr. Canas, can you tell me what you're asking for and why I should grant it to you?
So I'm asking to get that fine reduced, and I'm going to explain why. So we came across this property, 921 43rd Street, because we were trying to purchase this property. And after talking to the previous owner, Ms. Hudson, we realized she was in a much bigger problem than we thought. She had this ongoing situation with the liens. So what we did was we met with Ms. Cassandra and Ms. Natalie Clark at the time. That was March of 2022. And from my own expense, I brought the property to compliance. Since the previous owner, she's elderly and she was very, very sick, so she was in no condition mentally or financially to take care of this property. So what we did was, after that process, we applied for a lien reduction and tried to get everything up to par. But after that inspection that happened in July, I believe, we got an extensive list of things that we needed to repair. So we were advised to go and reapply, but now under our name. So at that point, we purchased the properties and we did everything that it was required by the city. We spent about $50,000 on repairing all these properties because they all were linked to this lien, which we did. And after all that, on December, we had the last inspection that we passed on every single property, and that brought us to this point. So my request was to reduce that to a minimum. I would say I think it would be fair to be at $5,000, thinking that this was not something that we created, and we put money from our pocket to bring it to 2023 standards.
That's a pretty big reduction. Let's see, what's it at about? It's at 59.7. The city's offered what? Let's see. City offered a pretty big reduction already. City offered to reduce it from 59.7 to, did you do the math?
14,825.
So the city offered to reduce it to 14.8?
Mm-hmm.
And you're asking for 5.
Yes, sir.
That's still a pretty, city's offer is not bad, considering that you were at 60 when you walked in the door.
I understand, but at the same time, we spent a lot of money just to bring it to compliance, where now we gotta spend now more money if we wanna renovate it and bring it to a higher standard so we can actually make a profit out of it. So I'm just trying to be in compliance with the city. I mean, we're trying to get more properties like this that are in bad shape and beautify the city and, keep going with this.
I don't disagree with you. It's tricky for me too, because in where I sit, I generally want to help you out, but where I sit too, I got to remember that I don't want to create the situation where somebody lets their property go and then just sends, they transfer it to somebody else, right? And then that person then gets rid of the fine because they go, hey, it wasn't me, right? So I got to avoid creating the perception that somebody can just do that. I mean, I don't think that you did that in this particular case, but I don't want to create the perception for people that that's the way they can get out of fines, right? So I have to be careful that I don't just, do away with fines just because we transfer properties.
Special Magistrate, I wanted to make a change. I'm sorry. I apologize. I said 15%, but the number I gave was wrong. It would actually equate to 8,955.
Yeah, so you're actually pretty close.
Yeah, so I do apologize for that.
I'll tell you what I'll do. Since the city's at 8 essentially and you're at 5, I'll do it for 6.5. Does that work for both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, done.
Thank you.
How long?
How long?
How much time do you need?
30 days.
30 days, done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next cases, numbers 5 and 7. Number 5, 1727 Village Boulevard. Number 308 CE 22050132.
I feel like you've been with us all day.
Sorry?
I feel like you've been with us all day.
That's fine.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 220-50132 was cited on May 12, 2022 for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. On July 6, 2022, the magistrate ordered 30 days or $200 a day until compliance is achieved. The property was out of compliance for 14 days, resulting in a lien amount of $2,800. The applicant was the owner of the property when these violations occurred. The city is seeking 25%. Case CE 220-50130 was cited on May 12, 2022 for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. On July 6, 2022, the magistrate ordered 15 days or $200 a day till compliance was achieved. Property was out of compliance for 26 days, resulting in a lien amount of $5,200. The applicant was the owner of the property when these violations occurred. The city is seeking 25% as well.
The floor is yours. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Marian Refas.
Miriam
Refas.
Unifis?
Refas with an R.
Urainfis? Close enough? Sorry, I'm not doing well with last names today. So I have two different owners here. Olivia Holdings and Dunay Holdings.
Sorry?
I have two different owners for these properties. I have
Doucenet and Olivier.
Olivia. So what is your relationship to both of these?
So I work for the property management company. So those are both foreign owners.
Are you a real estate agent or a...
I'm the executive assistant to the CEO, so I was a design agent to represent the case.
All right. And do you have authority to represent both of these?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me what you're asking me for here.
So for both cases, it's a similar situation. We had our former property manager that was in charge of that, and she had a hard time to coordinate the inspection with the tenant, not giving access because of COVID issues. Then she tried to have the inspector come, but he was on vacation, so that's why we had a delay. And then she actually left the company for health issues. So I took over the case. I had the inspection done with a handyman on site, and I have the 2 licenses here issued. So we are requesting to reduce the lien or remove completely.
Does the city have an offer on either one of these?
For number 5, with the 25% ask is $700, and for number 7, that would be $1,300.
So the city's offer on 5 is $700, and the city's offer on 7 is $13. I actually think those are pretty reasonable.
For number 5, 700.
The city will reduce your 2,800 to 700, and the city will reduce 5,200 to 1,300.
1,300.
I actually think that's both pretty reasonable.
Thank you very much.
I'll say 30 days. Is that enough time for you?
Yeah, that's fine. We can pay right away.
All right, done.
Number 3, 5089 Ellery Terrace, CE 21030183.
Okay. Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach, case CE 2103183, was cited on May 5, 2021 for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use, garbage can placement, and numbering standards. The property was taken to hearing on April 21st, 2021. The property was given an additional 30 days or $200 a day to achieve compliance. The property was out of compliance for 213 days, resulting in a lien amount of $42,600. Special Magistrate, at this time, the city and the applicant did come to a stipulation agreement of a settlement amount of $8,000 and 120 days to pay it off.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Sure. My name is Jason Perez. I'm an attorney for the property owner, Inversiones Asman LLC.
Is it your understanding that you're willing to settle the existing lien amount of $42,600 for $8,000 payable within 120 days?
Yes. As Cassandra said, yes.
Done.
Thank you.
It's my favorite kind of case.
Here's a copy of the order.
The order.
Number 4195 North Haverhill Road, 320, CE 21090262.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 210-90262 was cited on September 22nd, 2021 for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Property was taken to hearing on November 3rd, 2021. Property was given an additional 30 days or $200 a day to achieve compliance. The property was out of compliance for 50 days, resulting in a lien amount of $10,000. The applicant was the cause of the violation. The city is seeking 25%.
Good afternoon. My name is Radmila Abash, designated agent for the owner, Di Borello LLC, formerly Luciano Ganino.
I'm sorry, one more time, your name was?
Radmila Abash, attorney and
Radmila
designated
Abash. Did I get it right the first time?
Radmila Abosch.
Abash, okay. So, Ms. Abash, tell me what you are asking for and why I should grant it to you.
So first and foremost, nice to meet you. The property is in compliance, and
It has to be, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
I know. I just wanted to make it clear the property is in compliance. On the 28th, when the notice was posted, the property manager subsequently reached out to the city to get a better understanding of the process. She received the rental application. When she received the rental application, she realized that the owner needed a social security number, a tax ID number, or an EIN number in order to apply. The seller was or is a foreigner. He currently resides in Argentina. In order to apply for a tax ID number, it was a 6 to 9 month process to receive a tax ID number. So we subsequently decided to apply for an EIN number. So he registered an LLC with Sunbiz, Di Borello LLC, and requested an EIN number, which he received on December 7th. Then a quitclaim deed was prepared and recorded by December 15th and submitted to the city by December 21st.
Let me see if I can circumvent the story here. So what you're telling me is that you were unable to obtain a rental license because
Absolutely.
you didn't have
Correct. So we took
the documentation necessary to make the application. Did you explain this particular circumstance to the city at the time?
Absolutely. It's all in writing.
That's particularly weird. Is the city aware of this?
Yeah,
Is there a
I mean, it's in the
workaround for
filing-
this kind of
yeah.
problem?
Yeah, it showed that the property owner and manager was in contact with Code Officer Paul McFarland as well as Susan Palmer, which is one of permitting specialists. Yeah, and they did explain it to them exactly what needed to be done, but the issue even after trying to get all of that done with the EIN number and everything, was they were given additional time. Like, the city did give a lot of grace to try and get this done. Because even, like you said, the posting wasn't made till September 28th. But we didn't go to hearing till December 20th because there was like you said, there was an email chain back and forth between Paul McFarland, Susan, and the property management company, letting them know what they were missing in the records. And even on December 20th, an application was still not received at that time. So the city gave a lot of time to communicate with us what was going on. And the thing about that too, when you have business here, as what this is, when you're renting out a property, if you cannot physically be here, this is why they make it a point to hire a management company that is local, that is able to take care of all of this for you. So you don't have to physically be here to maintain, to do this. But it looks as though the property owner wanted the application in their name, and because they were a foreigner, all these items was requested of them. But they could have easily hired,
so I'm guessing the city's position is that
they could have easily
if you're not in the position to rent property, then you probably shouldn't be renting property.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Like I said, we did give a lot of grace to try and get it done. A lot of communication was done between the code officer and the permitting desk
Okay,
to try
so
and get this.
I get the argument. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, we complied timely. We took every step necessary to bring it to compliance, meaning that applying for an EIN number, also registering a company, then transferring the property. It took about 2.5 months to get that accomplished in order to bring it into compliance. So we feel as though we did it timely as soon as we were placed on notice. So we're hoping.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I mean, the alternative is just to hire a real estate company or to hire a management company or not to rent your property out until you're able to. I mean, if I were to play devil's advocate here, the other argument would be one should not rent property out until one is able to actually obtain a rental license, right? Renting property out without obtaining a rental license is probably, why you got cited to begin with, right?
I believe, wasn't the property rented already? What did he purchase the property?
I'm Maria Sajon. I'm the property manager for this for the owner, and we try to do under my company name, which is PG Management, and the city said we cannot get the license under the management company. That is why we did everything to put it under another company and get the EIN and move forward, I explained to this situation to the city many times by phone, by email, and they said I cannot get the license under my company as a property manager. So I don't understand.
I'm not sure why that is, because that seems to happen all the time.
Yeah, that's not in the correspondence that was provided to us. It's from what we have in the file. The issue was trying to get that application for the rental license in the owner's name. And that's when the officer explained that in order to do so, they would need a social security number, EIN number, and so forth. A property management applying for a rental license is done all the time in the city, so I don't see why the city would tell them that they would not be able to do that.
Just give us 1 second. I have copies of all of the emails.
The emails, and we have been working with this.
We can agonize that all of the time, but I mean, we're not going to relitigate what happened years ago. But so there's a $10,000 lien on here. What was the city's offer?
2,500, 25%.
So the city's offered to reduce it to $2,500. What are you asking me for?
We're asking for 500 inclusive of penalties and fines.
And I specifically spoke with Mr. Farline about doing the license under my company, and he said, no, we manage 29 units on that complex, so it's going to be very easy to do it under one name. And we did it for every owner, so I don't think it,
Tell you what, I'll reduce it to 1,000, payable within 60 days.
Would you reconsider to 500?
I'll do 1,000. That's 10%. It's a pretty good reduction, considering you walked in here owing 10,000.
1, other matters, 331 South Sequoia Drive, CE 200300146.
Is there anyone else here? Yeah. Oh, there you are. Last but not least.
Number 1. Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 200300146 was originally cited March 9th of 2020 for work without permit and all required inspections. This property was taken to hearing on October 21st, 2020. The magistrate gave an additional 30 days or $100 a day to achieve compliance. The property was out of compliance for 536 days, resulting in a lien amount of $53,600. The applicant was the cause of the violation. The city is seeking 25%. Magistrate, also keep in mind that this property is slated to be sold after we finalize this lien reduction.
Sir, can you tell me your name?
Yes, sir. I'm Ken Best. I'm a real estate broker with Members Realty Group.
Are you a real estate agent, sir?
Yes, sir.
And to whom do you represent?
Nancy Russell. She's a good friend of mine.
So you represent the property owner who's trying to sell this property?
Yes, sir.
All right. So tell me what's going on here.
Well, she's actually, she's never lived here. She bought the property and was going to move here, but then she got cancer, and she had to move in with her family in Las Vegas. So the address that she gave on the deed, which of course goes to the city, always sends it to whatever the address is on the deed. So she never got that because she's been in cancer, having cancer, and she's actually almost in hospice right now. And we've been trying to sell this property so she can afford to take care of herself because she paid cash for the property. Then I came involved, to help her sell because we've sold a couple other properties on Palm Road in West Palm and in the other one over there off of Village Boulevard. So she hired somebody she thought was reputable to demo the house because it had water damage and things like that. And obviously those people never pulled the permit to demo the inside of the house to clean it all up with the mold issues and everything. And then here we are today. So when I got the notice, we kind of took it up to get the permit for the demo. We had to apply for that and got all that situated. And then of course, then you got to go look at the other property, everything else. So they wanted us to paint the eaves, I guess, and there was some torn screens in the back that we had to take care of. Mow the grass all the time, but we've been in compliance for a while for all that. So we're just asking for, I would say 5% of whatever we got to do. This woman, she's in cancer and she's got nothing else, so.
So do you have this thing under contract?
Yes, sir, we did. But not now. I mean, they walked away because it was taking too long.
Oh.
So it's not currently under contract?
No, sir.
What's the city's offer on this?
25% will be reduced to $13,400 if I did my math right.
I'm sorry, what was 25%?
It will be $13,400.
Considering how significant the, one of the things I'm supposed to weigh here is how significant the violations are, and these are significant violations. Considering how significant the violations are, the city's offer is actually pretty reasonable.
You mean, sir, for not pulling the permit for the demo? That's considered a significant
Yeah,
violation?
building permits for things like electrical and plumbing, those are safety issues. Those are significant issues.
On a vacant house?
Yeah, those are dangers to neighbors and neighborhoods.
On Sequoia? That's a dangerous neighborhood?
No,
Oh.
not.
I thought
Are you saying
No,
failure
not.
to obtain those type of permits will cause issues for the neighboring properties?
So tell me, because
Mechanical,
I've done this
plumbing.
before.
Well, I'm not a building inspector. I can't.
Oh, that's okay. But I mean, a demo permit's a demo permit. Do you have to get 4 or 5 different permits as the plumbing, the electric, whatever?
But in order to get a demo permit, I believe you have to make sure that certain items are cut off.
Capped off?
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Oh, when
So
they came-
if
when they
that's
came-
not, listen, if that's not done properly and the, right permits were not obtained to ensure that that was done, imagine they go and demo the property and now something happens and then it affects everyone in the neighborhood that had nothing to do with this. So
Okay.
this is why these are very significant type of codes that require
Yeah,
you get
I mean, neither the code officer or I are trying to argue with it. What we're trying to suggest is that in the realm of code violations, things having to do with electrical and plumbing are a little heavier than things having to do with, say, I didn't cut my grass, right?
Yeah.
That's what, that's the point I was trying to make. I wasn't trying to be combative with you, sir.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm not combative.
Yeah.
I just want to know because, if you go inside the house, they took out the walls and everything, got all the electrical panels, everything's in the same place. Everything's just kind of hanging because, it had so much mold damage.
Yeah, because they got a stop work order to stop it. They had already started the work. That's the issue. They had already started doing all of this.
No, I
without-
know.
Yeah,
Yep,
and that's
yep.
really the issue. It's,
Yeah,
what it
she
could
trusted these
potentially
people
lead
thinking
to.
that they were going to get a permit to do that, that's all.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and I'm not unsympathetic to where she is.
Yeah.
It's just it's a difficult thing that you're asking me, sir, which is to waive away a lot of fines for things that are not insignificant. So the city has offered to reduce it from 53 to 13, which I think is pretty significant. I mean, what were you asking me to do, sir?
5%? Which is like $2,500, almost $3,000?
I'm not sure I can go that low. Not in this particular situation. Can you make me a more reasonable kind of offer
How
here?
about 10% then, I guess? I mean, I'm spending her money here, so. I mean, especially since we had it under contract when the market was way better, and now the price of that house is probably 25% less.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I mean, this is a difficult situation. I'll do the 10%, but you're going to make sure that this property is maintained appropriately?
It's maintained
Yeah.
now, sir, yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right.
I mean, luckily it's less than a mile from my office, so my guys go and mow it, every couple of weeks just to keep it up, that's all.
All right, I'll reduce it to 5,360.
Okay, thank you so much.
And what kind of time frame do you need?
Just 30 days is fine.
All right,
Yes, sir.
30 days.
Thank you.
I hope the best for your friend.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And then lastly, number 6, 5214 Palm Brook Circle, CE 18020211, I guess is a no-show.
No show.
Do you want to hear it?
No, they would just charge for inspections again, right? That's all.
All right. Seeing no further business before us, we are adjourned.